And we are now underway. The start cave is not normal. It's where the Armo statue item is in northeastern Hyrule. And somebody's got a case of the Mondays. That is a community hint that could possibly be the door repair penalty message we could be looking at.
Yeah, right away, shuffle.
Ooh, boomstick's in play, folks. The boomstick is in play, as we see on Putz' side. What that is normally when you pick up the magic wand, if you get the book, it's something you want to avoid because it bursts into flames after it makes contact with the enemy. But the boomstick, instead of flames, it turns into bombs, and that deals a tremendous amount of damage. Plus, you can bomb your way through the dungeons to your heart's content. It replaces the large-priced magical shield that's normally 160 rupees.
Yeah, meanwhile, Putz screen's going over to level 5 on the first quest overworld, and it's actually level 5 and does find a dungeon to boot. And trying to get some clips in here against the Goma with no sword. A little bit difficult, but we'll see if he finds an item.
If that's the case, that could help us out, Adaginos, because the palettes are shuffled, and we are starting to get some indication that this is looking like shapes. What shapes is the design of the levels are going to be completely shuffled and randomized, so it is going to be tough for these players to excavate through these levels. We like to play a game called Find the Bomb Hole, because without the map, you could be bombing, using a lot of bombs, and wasting them. Hey, a wooden sword found by Toaster.
Yeah, Toaster making the usual play to head towards the start cave, as it's extremely likely that the wood sword is there, even with shuffled overworld caves. Does pick himself up a wood sword, and also important to note that we do have extra candles available, provided that they find a take any cave.
That is correct. If they find any of the take any bonus caves there, in addition to the heart container and the red potion, you can select from a blue candle. And that might be a decision these players are going to be making very early, because blue candle, very useful for excavating Hyrule. Burn those bushes away. Yeah, that was Vanilla level 5. A Toaster heading for Vanilla level 1. There is a dungeon there, and it's really starting to look like that all of the dungeons are in their respective first quest spots. If that's the case, we're looking at a first quest overworld.
Yeah, for sure. And a bow on the floor would definitely indicate that this is level 1.
Yep, which means potentially, it's a very small potential, but there's a small chance the items might be in their proper spot. Speaking of proper spot, there's the white sword in the white sword cave. So far, we're 2 for 2. Also, one thing I want to point out, as Toaster takes a death right there, the hints. Looks like the hints are either going to be all helpful, or it's going to be a mix of helpful and community hints. So no deceptive hints in this particular race. Toaster finds, and look at this, normally you don't see a staircase that's going to take you to another part of level 1, but in shapes, you're going to see a lot of segmented dungeons, and some have multiple segments. Level 1 is one of them, and a death right there on Putz before you can get to level 1.
Yeah, it's always interesting when these early levels end up having segments in them. It kind of throws you for a loop when you walk in there and you're expecting to find an item in that staircase, and there's, well, some way to go to another part of the dungeon.
Toaster has found the second item, and it's the red candle. Excellent find here in level 1, so we can now confirm that all the items have been randomized. Red candle, a very useful pickup early on, because you don't have to spend those 60 rupees, you don't have to take it out of a bonus cave, and the red candle allows you to fire multiple shots on the same screen. So if you miss your mark, you get another chance. Whereas the blue candle, it's one shot, you have to go back and then come back to the same screen if you want to shoot again. And it looks like that the secrets were standard at 100 rupees. There's the large secret. But we kind of figured that, considering that the prices of the shops were not shuffled either. I believe those two are sharing the same flag.
That is correct, yes.
Toaster is trying to full clear as many rooms as he possibly can. We don't know if the Triforce is shuffled or if it's always going to be in the Triforce room. We'll stay tuned and find out how that's going to be played out. The Dongo dwells in the forest. That's a helpful hint. So we know the general location of level 2. Of course, it's not really helpful because, again, the dungeons not shuffled. They're in their respective vanilla locations.
Yeah, always unfortunate to get helpful hints whenever you have standard overworld, but it could prove to be useful if they do find a hint about an item. And Putz finally finding his way to the wooden sword and takes a candle instead of the sword.
Interesting move there. I mean, he has discovered the white sword. He just needs to find a couple of heart containers in order to get the white sword. And he's a very good swordless competitor, so we'll see if that comes into play. Of course, little does he know, he's going to find the red candle in level 1.
Well, at this point, it's also a good play because he knows where the heart containers are. So he can get himself at least one heart container here, south of 1, and then just needs to get a hold of one more to get that white sword.
All right.
The only thing that could play villain to that would be his inability to get hold of a bomb, but he should be able to at least locate a shop where he can buy a bomb. The shuffled HP might make it difficult to procure one otherwise, but should be able to get that shortly and then head over to pick up the last 2 hearts to make sure that he 100% can get the wood sword or the white sword, which can be shuffled anywhere between 4 to 6 hearts. And meanwhile, Toaster still having no luck locating this Triforce in level 1.
Excuse me, Adiginos, I'm going to have to step out for just a moment because I might be having some issues with my microphone. I'm going to try and log off and log back in, so you take it away for the next few minutes, and I'll be back.
Got you covered. So Put's going to head over here, and looks like he's going to, I would assume, go grab, he's actually farming for a bomb, but I'm assuming he's just going to go buy one. Meanwhile, Toaster does finally find the Triforce in level 1 after burning through all of his keys, but does manage to get that, and I assume that he's probably going to head over towards some other dungeons, like maybe 2 or 3 next. Meanwhile, Put's still looking to buy, or to farm a bomb. He could head over to the coast and just buy one from the shop, but it looks like he's pretty adamant on farming one. It looks like Toaster is going to make his way down to level 2 next. Good choice, as there is always the free item on the ground there, as well as usually a very small dungeon, even with shapes. Putz does manage to find his final bomb and is going to go ahead up in A, and he should, I would assume, go down and get the other heart container, which he does at Spectacle Rock, again guaranteeing that he's able to get the white sword, as it could be shuffled up to possibly 6 hearts with the flags that we have, and this will guarantee that no matter what, he's able to get it. And I agree with you, Ampharos. The fact that the red candle is so easily available in level 1 has really proven to be quite the boon. Even without the white sword, has allowed him to move through these dungeons at an accelerated pace. So working to his advantage there, and he should easily be able to pick up the white sword at a later time.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. Hopefully that took care of everything. I'm hoping we're back good to go here, and it looks like AmazingToaster is in a new level.
Yeah, he's in level 2, and unfortunately running into some issues with keys, as he had to use, I believe, his final 3 to find the Triforce in level 1, and has found a lot of key doors thus far in level 2 as well.
Yes, indeed. You never want to play 3-door Monty when you have no keys, because when you find that key, you got to pick that right door to take it to where you need to go.
Indeed, and Toaster not shying away from using his bombs on these Guerrilla, and Putz goes ahead and buys the book early. We'll see if that pays off. I know that I've done that before and then never happened into the wand, so we'll see how that works for him.
That's an excellent purchase for him, because if you've ever watched Putz do his Zelda Randomizer races, he is not a person who will go for the blue ring. It's either red ring or bust for him. So, yep, that's a solid purchase on Putz's part. If he finds that magic wand, bombs away.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's still early in the seed as well, and you're guaranteed to have the other 100 secrets out there, and he knows where they are, so finding money is not an issue for sure.
By the way, did Putz try white sword at 5 or 6 hearts?
He got both the coast and the Monocle Rock hearts before going up there, so he checked it at 6, which I think was the right play, so that way he didn't have to backtrack.
Oh, absolutely. You want to guarantee yourself that white sword. What we mean by that is there is a chance, a 50-50 chance, that the amount of HP you need for the white sword is shuffled. It's a 50-50 chance. Triforce is in the Triforce room where Putz is right now. Was that in the level 1's Triforce room as well?
Yeah, the drops are not shuffled in the dungeons, which means that Triforces will be in their rooms at all times, which makes it pretty easy for these guys to find what they're looking for. In shapes, everything is basically kind of shuffled except for the Triforce room when it comes to drops, which, you know, again, that's the thing you're looking for, so it makes it a lot easier to get through these dungeons quickly.
Right, back to what I was saying about the white sword item. 50-50 chance that the HP needed is shuffled. If it is shuffled, you're going to need a plus or 1 minus deviation. You may need somewhere between 4 and 6 hearts to pick it up. Same thing applies with the magical sword. 50-50 chance that flag is shuffled. Normally you need 12 hearts to pick up the magical sword, but the variation could be plus or minus 2, so somewhere between 10 and 14 hearts you might need to pick up the magical sword.
Indeed, it looks like these guys want to make some pink lemonade between these two dungeons.
Yeah, absolutely. I like the dungeon colors. You've got that hot pink-like color and then the banana yellow color that AmazingToaster's in right now.
Yeah, both a little bit eye bleeding, but I think we'll be able to get through it. Toaster still trying to clip into that same staircase that Putz was having trouble with earlier, and unfortunately takes a death. Even with the sword and being able to clip, getting through that Goma can be a bit of a chore sometimes.
Alrighty, so again, looking for the items here. Could you recap what levels are both of these players in right now?
AmazingToaster is in level 5, and I'm not quite sure where Putz is.
Okay, so AmazingToaster's looking for that one item here. Of course, level 5 by default is a segmented staircase, but we could be talking about lots of segments. Normally, a map is not really a good item to pick up when you're talking about the vanilla layouts for dungeons, but in shapes, finding the map is actually very useful because, again, then you'll know where not to bomb.
Yeah, indeed. Sometimes even in vanilla levels, finding that map may not be a bad thing if it's one of the later dungeons, but it looks like we have a Grumble in what might be level 8 according to the chat, so he could be shuffled, and we'll see if he's required.
Yep, a potential bait block right there, and he's taking it out on the Gibdo right there by stabbing it. Of course, by the way, there's a technique. If you stab that Gibdos or whatever that block is going to be, you could build up your bomb counter like that very quickly.
Yes, indeed, and Toaster using a lot of time trying to get through this staircase. Unfortunately, it's just not having a lot of luck getting that clip in before the fireballs come his way.
It's very difficult to clip through a Goma here, especially this diamond staircase. He's having no luck. He's down to 1 heart, and he's just going to get out of there. Oh, nasty.
Putz trying to tank his way to that key, and unfortunately does not make it in time.
Yep, the Dark Nuts had nothing good to say to Putz right there, so he's going to have to try again. Toaster finally makes it through, but unfortunately for him, that is not where the item is. It's just going to take him to another part of level 5. Again, level 5 could have several segments. It is not as easy as you think it is, folks.
Yeah, and Putz taking up this Gliok, which does not have 0 hit points, just to find himself in yet another river room with a Goma. Does get a key, but it's going to have to up an A anyways. It looks like this is a 3-segment level 8.
Wow, quite a few segments already. So, have we determined if this is random HP or standard HP?
It looks like it's standard.
Yep, by random, the enemies could have plus or minus 4 hit points. For example, you could have what we call super keys that could require 4 hits. But on the other token, I think you could have red Wizrobes go down in just 1 hit.
Yeah, indeed, and that's never a bad thing. Shuffled HP is one of those things that always is a stigma for a lot of people because it can either be really kind or it can be really mean. And a lot of times it tends to tilt towards the really mean because if you get like blue Dark Nuts or the blue Wizrobes to have really bad hit points, you're in for a rough time. Putz does find a raft in level 8, so the searching around does pay off a little bit, but we'll see if the raft actually is required at all.
Raft is required because remember, this is vanilla locations.
That's true.
Level 4, definitely a raft required. So, yep, good pickup there by Putz.
Has lots of keys too, up to 8 keys, and knows what that Triforce is, but it looks like he is going to be spending a little bit more time searching for that second item.
Yes, indeed. We never know what that second item is going to be. Maybe he could find the silver arrows. Again, it's a 50-50 chance that level 9 has the standard fare of the red ring and the silver arrows that you normally see. There's the second item, the any key. Very nice pickup. So Putz doesn't have to worry about being key blocked the rest of the way. Very good find there by Putz.
Something I'm sure Toaster would love to have right now, as he's down to 1 key going through this level 5. And meanwhile, Putz does have both items out of 8 and is going to be able to make his way over to that Triforce post-haste and has pulled out to a little bit of a lead.
Hey, Amazing Toaster found the compass. The Triforce is right north, but since he hasn't found the item, he wants to go back and try and find it. This might be the item right here. But watch out, he's down to 1 HP. He's got no ring. 1 hit from those Gibdos or 1 hit from those Pulse Voices, and he's going to be spinning in circles.
Now, Pulse Voice in a spiral staircase is never a fun thing to deal with. We'll see if he can make it in here. This should be the item, barring it being another segment, so...
the inferior model, the Bloomerang, the Blueberry Banana. Toaster don't want it.
Yeah, so unfortunate time sink there, but it wasn't too far away from finding the Triforce, so not really any time lost overall.
So Amazing Toaster just picked up the Triforce in level 5. He's now got 2 Triforce pieces.
Yeah, we'll see where he makes himself towards next. He might go check the white sword at 4 hearts. He's here, so I can't say I blame him too much. But chances are he's probably not going to be able to pick it up.
It's a 1 in 6 chance at this point, because again, 50-50 chance and 1 in 3 chance if it happens to be shoveled. So he's looking at a 1 in 6 chance that the 4 hearts are going to be enough to get that wooden sword. And looks like overworld enemies not shuffled with that single blue Lionel. Nope.
That's what it's looking like. Yeah,
4 hearts is not enough.
Overworld enemies are definitely not shuffled, but yeah, 4 hearts are not working for him. But he should, again, it's a non-shuffled overworld. He knows where to find heart pieces, so that shouldn't be too big of a deal for him.
Actually, we've got 2 Triforce pieces. We hadn't highlighted Triforce number 2. Putz has 2 and 8. Amazing Toaster 1 and 5.
Yeah, so cool. Interesting deviations on the overworld route from both of these guys, and a lot of that had to do with Putz's choice to go get the white sword the way that he did, and that helped out a lot as far as his combat in these other levels. So we'll see what he does next. Looks like he's going to go pick up the final overworld heart here and make his way towards yet another dungeon. We'll see what that is.
And also, we had discovered that the heart container is the item on the coast, the standard item that you normally find. Still looking for the Armo statue item, I believe.
I believe it was the power bracelet.
Power bracelet. Was it in the normal spot?
I do not believe so, because neither of them have been towards the graveyard.
Well, that's 5 out of the last 6. That power bracelet for me has been the power bracelet item. But believe it or not, the race I did, it was the inferior model.
Yeah, it seems to get shuffled a little bit more than normal, and that seems to happen a lot with all of the shuffles, whether it be White Sword or the Heart or just regular items. They tend to get shuffled a little bit more than 50% of the time, so kind of interesting overall.
Looks like Putz has made his way into level 5, and I believe Amazing Toaster's now in level 8.
Chat indicating that the item in level 2 was the power bracelet, so that is where that came from.
Power bracelet was in level 2. Okay.
So it looks like we have yet to find that item, which means it is in fact shuffled this time.
Excellent.
And, from the exploration that they've done so far, it can only be in the grave spot or the Blue Ring Armos, so we'll see if they make that a priority.
Yes, indeed. Alright, Putz trying to take that staircase. He does not want to take it. He's hoping to find the staircase that has the items, but as we saw, they were pretty deep in level 8. Or level 5, rather. He's in level 5. He's already done level 8. The items in level 8 were pretty deep, where Amazing Toaster's in right now.
They were up on the upper side, and unfortunately taking the time to clear out that staircase room. One of the things that I've actually learned recently myself is that staircase rooms do not contain drops and shapes. It's not possible. So clearing out a staircase room is pretty much always a waste of time unless you're specifically looking for a bomb drop or something like that.
Yeah, that's right. And unfortunately, Putz gets trapped in a room full of blue dark nuts. He's just going to nope out of that room and try another path.
Toaster finding the Triforce super quick here and opting to actually look for items, which turns out to be the correct choice in this matter. So hopefully he will find those quickly and we'll be able to get on out of here. And meanwhile, Putz has basically swapped places with him, and he's in level 5 looking for the item, which I'm sure he's going to be a little bit disappointed with.
Well, Toaster has just found the Triforce in level 8. Again, he's going to be searching for the items. He will find the any key, which is definitely going to help him out, along with the raft, which will also help him out, because again, it's required to get to level 4.
Yeah, and he's going to find yet another staircase here, and I'm pretty sure this heads over towards the items, so he's making the correct choice here.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And again, not hesitating to use bombs on these Gibdo, which is not a bad choice. Gets them all grouped up and then just shoots a red candle. Makes this the killing these a lot easier. Gibdo are super susceptible to fighting with a candle, and it's much better than getting bombed.
Absolutely. A red candle against those Gibdos, a very smart play, definitely, and he's going to do it again in this room. That's the one very, very, very good use, in addition to multiple shots of the red candle. Very useful against these Gibdos. Just got to be careful that you don't get bopped.
Yeah, and we do see the map here of level 5, and it is a pretty interesting. Definitely, it's actually got 3 segments in it, as it does have one singular room there that is off by itself, in addition to the 3 at the start. So quite interesting.
That's a troll staircase. It leads to a dead end, because in shapes there are no invisible rooms. So kind of like, like for instance in level 9, how there's 2 eyes that you can go through that are actual rooms. You're not going to see that in shapes. All the rooms are going to be in blue in the map.
Toaster dropping down to a single half heart, unfortunately. Hopefully he will find those items before he dies, as it would be very unfortunate for him to grab the Triforce and leave. Meanwhile, Putz is still searching about for the item as well, and finally runs into it, and I'm sure he's going to be quite disappointed when he sees it.
But AmazingToaster just found the potential bait block. We know that bait is not required for the seed. It leads to nowhere. By the way, that ink blot on Putz's side looks like an equestrian there, doesn't it? Jumping over those hurdles.
Yeah.
Of course, if we were in a certain other stream, it's a cactus.
And Putz taking a bop there on the way out, and fortunately does not die. Very close. This should, I believe, be the any key here for AmazingToaster, so that'll be nice. Again, both of them ended up to 6 keys when they ran into this, so not spectacular, but always nice to know that you don't need to search for rooms. And he dies to the key.
Oh, man, what a terrible place to die for the AmazingToaster. Bad luck.
Yeah, super unfortunate, and you got to think he's going to go back for that. I mean, you don't leave an any key this early in a raid.
No, you don't. Now, the big question is, will he get the second item there? If he doesn't, he will regret it, because, again, it is the raft. You need the raft.
Yeah, and I don't remember exactly where it was along the way, but yeah, not getting the raft will end up proving to be a pretty big deal if he doesn't get that. So this might actually be the raft here. I don't remember exactly what it was that held the raft staircase, but if he does luck into the raft here, that can be super good for him.
Now, the raft was the first item Putz discovered as Putz has made his way into level 1 and has picked up the bow. There is the raft that Toaster has just picked up.
Yeah, fantastic find for him. I mean, that's a relief to have died and ran into that. So now he's like, okay, well now I can get back to the any key and I know where the Triforce is. So this should be a very quick mop up here for Toaster on level 8. Does get back to that any key in no time, just get it picked up, and he'll be picking up that Triforce here pretty quick. So we've got ourselves a pretty close race on hand overall. Different dungeons at different times, but pretty much on pace with each other so far.
Oh, no question about it. This is a very close race between these two fine competitors right now. Putz will be just about ready to pick up his 4th Triforce piece here in level 1. He's going to find the red candle, and chances are he's not going to pick it up. Remember, he got the blue candle earlier from the wood sword area, which is something you don't see very often. But again, when you find that white sword, and you know where heart containers are, yeah, you're going to skip the wood sword, go right to white.
Yeah, I mean, I think I might still pick up the red candle. It has so many good uses as far as like the Keys room and things like that, where you can shoot out multiple flames and clear rooms faster. Again, it's the debate between different runners on whether or not you get it at certain points. But I think at this point in time, I still pick it up as it can be very useful.
Oh, absolutely. And he did pick up the any key as well. Amazing Toaster has completed level 80. He got everything he needed out of there, so he's in good shape. We got a race.
And he's going to go pick up arrows, which isn't a bad purchase, considering that, there is the possibility of a Goma block, and it will help with Pole's voice for sure.
Absolutely. So, wooden arrows on Amazing Toaster's side of the board. Triforce out of level 1 for Putz. They're tied in Triforces. This is a neck-and-neck race, folks.
And Putz going back in for that second item, as he hasn't made his way to the top portion of the map yet. At that point, obviously not the red candle he's looking for, but I still think he should probably pick it up and will pick it up, as it can, again, with Gyptos and whatnot, it can prove very valuable. 25
minutes in, it's a borderline play. I got a feeling of a player of Putz's caliber is not going to take the red candle, but we're about to find out. He's going to take that staircase. He's going to find that red candle, and he's going to go ahead and take it. Again, not a bad play, and you called it.
And Toaster trying to wing his way up here into the white sword, and finally gets that blue Lionel out of the way. He's quite pesky guy up there, but we'll pick up the white sword as well. Pretty much evening the playfield. I mean, these guys are neck and neck. We'll see where they go next. I imagine level 3 will be the play, or possibly level 4, as it's on the way as well.
Yep, absolutely. So both of these players neck and neck. It's all going to come down to the writing here. Which way is Toaster going to go right here? You remember the anti-roads? Well, the anti-roads are not shuffled either.
Yeah, so smart play by him. Looks like he's probably going to head to level 3, which I would tend to lean towards myself, as level 4 has the possibility of ladder blocks. So I mean, we don't have randomized dungeon rooms, but there is the possibility of level 4 containing a ladder block, whereas level 3 does not have any river rooms that can do that. And it also looks like we have normal enemies as well, so level 4 containing Wizrobes.
That means that right now it looks like the paths have diverged. Putz is in level 4 right now. Amazing Toaster heading for level 3 now.
Ooh, look at that room. NSU with 6 blue Wizrobes and
that's the worst.
The Triforce right there. Oh, man.
That's brutal. So Amazing Toaster's in level 3.
I think I'd take that Triforce and head on out. I don't know. He's going to try to bomb through these blue Wizrobes here and see what's in the rest of level 4, though.
Now, I take it, I haven't really paid super close attention, but yeah, it looks like the enemy sets are not shuffled.
That is correct, yes. So we'll have Wizrobes in 4 and level 6. And Toaster passing up the Triforce in level 3, which is right at the start as well. These Triforces have been not playing very hard to get.
Nope, not at all. Yeah, Putz with half a heart. Remember, he's on green tunic, no ring, and remember, 2 hearts you lose by every bop of the blue Wizrobes. He's got 1 more to take out. Can he take it out before he goes to the north? He's got a couple more hits left to go. And by the way, we are confirmed. I know this was discussed in chat. We are indeed dealing with mixed hints, a mix of helpful and community hints.
Another blue Wizrobe room. The fortunate thing about the NSU room is that the blue Wizrobes can get themselves locked into a pattern, and same with any room that has water in it. They can get themselves locked into a pattern based on where you are, and it can make it really easy to kick them out. So he does get that taken care of, but he's going to have to clear that room again if he dies. So we'll see if he finds anything of value before that happens.
Yep, he's got to be very careful. Again, who almost got bopped right there by that red Keese, and he's just got to take out this fire, the couple Keese. Nice shot with that red candle, and he'll go to the south. Remember, whenever there's a block room and there is a shutter door, it's not going to go to a staircase.
Yeah, and he's gonna take his time and kill these orange Wizrobes before taking a look into the staircase. Hopefully for him, it's not a segment, but it is possible.
Well, absolutely. Ooh, a nice fairy drop there from that last orange Wizrobe. The item we've got is the recorder.
Which, again, is a required item, so not necessarily a bad find.
Yep, that'll be the item he needs to get into level 7.
And meanwhile, we have Toaster working his way through level 3, still trying to find the item here. At this point, he's got to hope that it's laddered. Otherwise, he might be falling a little bit behind Putz, who's found all the items required to at least get to every dungeon.
Yep, absolutely. He has found the item. What do we have? It's the Magic Shield. Now, Magic Shield is normally not an item in the shuffle, but when Boomstick is in play, the Magic Shield replaces the book. So, Magic Shield, I think, is a very solid pickup for Amazing Toaster, because what it does is it reflects the fireballs that Zoras shoot at you, the Wizrobe beams, Lionel's sword beams, and the fireballs that shoot out of the Dragon Statue turrets in dungeons.
Yeah, now keep in mind that to get to the recorder, you have to clear that 6 blue Wizrobe NSU room, which we'll see if that's something that Amazing Toaster wants to do at this point in the seed with what he has available to him. However, the only other real option that he has is to make his way towards level 6. So at some point, he's got to realize, well, I've got an item sitting that I need to get in level 4. We'll just see how long it takes for him to make that decision.
One other thing I forgot to point out at Genos is when you have the Magic Shield, you got to be careful of like-likes. If you get swallowed by a like and you don't break out of it fast enough, you're going to lose that shield.
Yeah, I always end up having that happen. I don't usually like to get the Lord Shield anyways because it messes up my ability to do screen scrolls, but you know, it's not a bad thing to have this early on, especially when you know you got to deal with Wizrobes at some point. And he's going to see this room and probably opt out until he finds out that that's really the only way left to go.
Oh, yes, indeed.
And Putt's going to go ahead and, I would assume, look for the item here as well. Still needing a ladder, and always the possibility of silver arrows being shuffled in. So we'll see how long it takes for him to find the item room in here in level 3 and see what kind of time difference we're looking at between the two guys after they finish up these respective levels.
It's still going to be neck and neck between the two, and it wouldn't shock me at this point if it all came down to level 9. The way this seed has been going, again, it's pretty standard. You're talking vanilla locations. It's gonna determine, the routing is going to determine who will win this in terms of routing each level that they're in, because one takes one path, the other takes another. That's what could turn this race.
Oh man, these 20 damage bombs here for Toaster doing work.
Yes, indeed. Now he's got to be careful. He's at 1.5 hearts. If he takes another beating, he's gonna have to full clear that room all over again. Watch out!
They're in the pattern. He knows it. They're stuck doing that, so he's going to be able to clear this room no problem. Well played by Toaster.
Yep, well played, manipulating the pattern of those blue Wizrobes in the NSU room, and now he can get through. But he still has to be careful. Look out, he's going the right way.
Yeah, noping right out of that. And what's really nice about this level 4 is it totally shoehorns you into finding that recorder, so you should be taking the right path and be right caught up to Putz, who now opts to take the magical shield as well, so good for him.
Yep, again, I don't fault him for picking it up. Again, it's very useful for reflecting those Wizrobe beams, and again, we're going to see it in level 9 because, again, enemy sets not shuffled. So, yeah, I definitely don't fault Putz for picking that up either.
Yeah, Toaster does find his way right to the recorder room, so going to be right behind Putz on the way out of this level. This is a super tight race.
Absolutely. So Putz has just picked up the Triforce in level 3. Toaster has just picked up the recorder. He's about to get the Triforce out of there. It's just an up A away.
Yeah, these Triforces, again, being super generous, being at the beginning of these levels. It's always nice to not have to dig super deep for those after you find the item.
Absolutely. So, yep, neck and neck, these two racers continue to go, and Putz is now going to make his way to level 7, 33 rooms of pure nightmare fuel.
Except that it's shaped, so not.
That's right. It is not going to be 33 rooms, so they could be talking about less than 33 rooms, because in shapes, because normally in vanilla Zelda 1, level 7 is bigger than level 8. Not in shapes, level 8 is going to be bigger than level 7.
Indeed, and level 6 is the nightmare in shapes, just because it takes over what's left out of the 1 through 5 on the grid. And again, Enfros making a fantastic point that neither player has checked the Armos item, which could in fact be the ladder.
And Putz appears to be ladder blocked. And, well, he's not Dig Dogger blocked, but he is ladder blocked. There's nothing else Putz can do here. Toaster is also going to discover the bad news.
Yeah, quite interesting, and it's one of those things that can slip your mind when you're 30, 40 minutes into a seed. Well, did I check the Armos item? Have I checked it? And, you know, obviously you want a route to get there efficiently, but I don't think either of them has checked the blue ring Armo spot, and it'll be quite interesting if that ends up being where it is. But Toaster going to find the same news that it's ladder blocked and going to have to make the same decisions here that Putz is.
And when you're dealing with shapes, chances are you're almost always going to deal with a ladder block seed. But I'm going to tell you something. We've actually seen a lot of ladderless seeds already in this tournament. Putz is in level 6 now.
Yeah, there have been quite a few ladderless seeds, and unfortunately not the case here, as gonna have to deal with Wizrobes yet again with the white sword and a tunic. And I guess I would want to, I don't know, check that Armos item. It could be a red ring, it could be silver arrows, it could be the ladder. There's so many things that it could be that are good at this point in the game. It's just one of those unfortunate situations.
A lot of things are still in at large right now, and right now, looking at the list, that it's dwindling down right now. It's starting to look more and more likely, though, that we may have our standard items in level 9. Again, we'll know when we see one of these items coming up, either in level 6, 7, or that Armo statue item. But Toaster is going to make the same play Putz is. They're basically retracing their footsteps neck for neck right here.
Yeah, I feel like, personally, I think it's a mistake to not check that Armos item. It's again, at this point, you've seen so many things. It could still be the boomerang, I suppose, but there's so many good things available for it to be. And unfortunately, Toaster going to lose his shield to like you were just talking about earlier, and no longer has that available for himself.
Let me tell you something. Putz is arrow blocked in that particular room right there. There's a Goma. He does not have the arrows.
Yeah, I believe
Toaster does have the arrows. We don't have it on
Toaster
the
does.
indicator, but he does have wooden arrows.
Yes, does have wooden arrows available, so that will allow him to clear that room, which could make a difference here, right? And again, I don't know. It's just one of those things where they're making a judgment call, and we'll see if it pays off. I mean, the items we got left are wand, silver arrows, red ring, the banana, and the ladder, I think, are all we have left.
That's correct. Those are the 5 items that are still at large. And ooh, Amazing Toaster taking a death right there, so he'll have to make another attempt. And it looks like we may not be blocked. There's the magic wand in level 6.
Yeah, so that confirms that the ladder is in fact the Armos item.
That's right, because level 7 we were ladder blocked. So yes, by process of elimination, it has to be the Armo statue item. It cannot be in level 9.
But keep in mind, Putz has a book, which means he has Boomstick.
Yes, he does, and that is going to make excavating all of these dungeons much, much easier. Bombs, not going to be a factor for Putz. Toaster, should he stumble upon that wand, he'll be in the same good shape that Putz is in right now. Unfortunately for Toaster, his combat is not treating him well right now. He's taken a few costly deaths already.
Yeah, and Put's going to find the ladder here. Again, you probably think you got to facepalm a little bit finding the ladder this late when it's free, but it again comes up to your routing, and it just so happens that they didn't come up here till now. So Putz, I'm sure, going to wrap back over towards the Blue Ring Armos and head to level 7. It should be well on his way.
Yep, absolutely. One Triforce piece away from being eligible to going into level 9. He's got to take that pancake out, does Amazing Toaster, and he's down to 1 heart. Gets him. So take that staircase, and it's going to just take him to another part of the dungeon. Again, he's looking for the item, which again is going to be the magic wand that will give him the boomstick power. Both players have it.
Yeah, unfortunately that room will save itself since it has a bubble, so he will not have to clear that again, which is always a relief.
Yeah, that is the one good thing about bubbles, is because normally bubbles are like your worst nightmare, especially in a room full of Wizrobes and pancakes.
Yeah, and going to discover the wand here, as long as he does not take a hit, does manage to avoid it.
Yep, good dodges right there by Toaster. He gets the magic wand, so super power from him. Everybody's got a boomstick, so everybody's going to be excavating to their heart's desire. All he's got to do is get the Triforce. It's still a close race. It's unless, of course, Amazing Toaster doesn't go to the Armo statue. If he doesn't, he's in trouble.
Well, at this point, he has to realize that has to be where the ladder is. If
Indeed,
you're paying
he's
attention to
got
your
to.
items. And, like you're saying, this is a super close race. I don't think Toaster has the book, though. So
No, he
he's gonna
doesn't.
have to go find one of the 100 secrets and do that, which I would assume that you would do at this point. which will give Putz a little bit of an extra lead as he has already ran into the Triforce in 7. But again, level 9, if they need to find the silvers, or even if not, Toaster could manage to find Zelda before Putz does.
Yeah, Putz is going to have some kind of lead going into level 9. And this is turning out to be a quick seed. Could be a sub 50 for Putz if level 9 treats him right. And also if silver arrows aren't required, if Ganon's not required either. So we'll see if that comes into play. There's only one item we haven't discovered. Other than that, it's the level 7 item. But if level 9 is the standard fare, and there's a pretty good shot it's going to be, we're thinking wooden boomerangs in level 7.
Yeah, I mean, how cool would it be if it wasn't? But that seems to be the case. Generally, it's about a 75% chance for the silver arrows and red ring to be in, or the silver arrows themselves rather, to be in level 9 so far. So always the gamble that you want to make. And again, we may not even need it depending on if Ganon is required or not.
Toaster did get the ladder, and he is done with level 6. He just needs to go back to level 7. First, he's going to get some monies. He wants to buy that boomstick. He's got another 30 rupees to get him to 160. But meanwhile, Putz is about to go into level 9 in its normal spot at 40 minutes and 29 seconds.
Yeah, I'm picking up some extra hearts along the way. I can't say that I blame Toaster. He's only got 7 hearts now, and going into level 9 with Wiz Robes at standard HP, even with a boomstick, is a little bit difficult to deal with.
Now, before the race started, I had mentioned that Ganon may or may not be required. So here's what they're going to be looking for in level 9. If they come across a door, a shutter door room, full clears the enemies, and that shutter door does not open, that is where Zelda is going to be, and Ganon is indeed going to be required to beat this seed. If Ganon is not required, Zelda could just be in an open room. By open room, we mean just an open door, which we see right there where Putz is, 2 possible ways. Could be a locked door, could be a bombable wall. That's where Zelda could be if Ganon is not required.
If it was 0 HP, Matt, I would probably agree that potion's a better buy. But if you're considering normal HP and you've only got a white sword, green tunic, and 7 hearts, I would probably be getting the boomstick if I have the wand. And that's what he's doing. And I can't say that I disagree, because again, your combat power and your room clearing power, it goes so far up having the boomstick versus not having the boomstick in this case.
Yeah, Putz is able to make quick work of all these enemies here in level 9, and he can discover all these bomb holes without having to waste his precious bombs. Finds the red ring in level 9. That is going to quadruple his defense, damage down to 1/4. So it's looking almost like a certainty. I'd say a 99.9% chance silver arrows are going to be in level 9.
Yeah, that red ring is a big find, as it makes it, at this point, pretty much impossible to die in level 9 with the boomstick and red ring. So basically just going to need to try to find the princess and figure out whether or not the pig needs to be killed. And if so, finding the silver arrows, which can always be very elusive.
AmazingToaster has enough money now to purchase that boomstick, so now he has the same firepower. However, it may be too little too late unless this level 9 proves to be a trolly one. We'll find out.
Yeah, one of those things that you have to have in the back of your mind when you're going up against a good racer such as Putz is where you feel you are in the seed in comparison to where they could be, right? So the question is, you go into level 9, and generally the standard fare of what you do is you go up, right? You go up. Well, if you feel like you're behind, do you make that gamble to go a different direction and see if you get lucky?
Yep. Now, also, another thing I want to point out to you. Resource management is normally a factor I like to consider in level 9. That is not going to be the case for Putz with his any key and boomstick.
Yeah, same thing for AmazingToaster. Both of these guys not going to need to worry about resources at all, which is, again, it just puts you in go mode, and it makes it a lot easier because you don't have to think, especially when you got red ring. Like you do not have to think about anything you're doing. You just walk into a room, blow it up, and go on your merry way until you find what you're looking for. Meanwhile, Toaster making his way through level 7 here, trying to find that Triforce. Picks up the compass, gets the good news, and is going to be able to find that Triforce super quick.
Yeah, doesn't need the item out of level 7. Obviously, there's a really good chance, almost 100% chance, that Wood Boomerang is the item at level 7. Get that Triforce, get the heck out of there, go to level 9, and we'll see what kind of deficit he is facing. Now, Putz, here's the thing. We like to call level 9 the Great Equalizer for a reason. Putz just has not found. Oh, and Putz loses out on a potential hint of where the silver arrows might be. There are 3 old men and 4 potential hints, and there's 1 strikeout right there. That's where we could have maybe seen a clue for where the silver arrows are. Unless this is all community hints. Have we seen any helpful hints yet?
I think we had one for one of the levels for level 2.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Okay, we did. That's right. We did. We do have a mixed. It is mixed.
So mixed hints here, and yeah, I mean, again, I think Putz's logic here is sound. Again, you want to go up. And
hey, guess what? The shutter door did not open.
Yeah.
That means that's Zelda's room. Ganon is required.
Yeah, so this
could
come down to silver arrows. I mean, again, Toaster has to find out the news, right? But that makes a big difference.
So we're looking at the deficit. Remember, AmazingToaster went in at 40.29. It's 45.02 for AmazingToaster. 4 minutes, 33 seconds is the deficit he has to gain. It's possible if he takes the right path. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, and a lot of that could come down if he finds that red ring too, just because Putz, again, doesn't have to think about it too much when going into these rooms, whereas Toaster's going to take 2 hearts of damage from any blue wizard that he touches or any beam. So it quickly depletes his health supply, so hopefully he'll run into that red ring.
That is correct. He's down to 4 hearts, 3 hearts. Those spike traps not having anything of it against AmazingToaster. Going to take out this patch of Putz's right now. Check that staircase. He's looking for silver arrows. He did not find it there.
Yeah, those 6 trap rooms with the staircase are always a little bit irritating to deal with when you're trying to clip in, as there's not really a good way to do it most of the time.
Yeah, not at all. It's a tough room to negotiate. AmazingToaster's on the far western side of level 9. Again, he is looking for the silver arrows. He's looking for some clues. He's looking for Ganon, Zelda. Again, he doesn't know it right now, but Ganon is required to beat the seed. You got to get those silver arrows.
Yeah, I think wisely clearing out this room for the most part, it'll save because of the bubble again, so he's not going to have to deal with that again if he comes through the staircase. And not knowing if he's going to run into the red ring, it's always nice to have the assurance that you're not going to get beamed as soon as you walk out of those rooms.
The silver to kill the beast lies in northwest of Skull. That's a huge hint for Putz. AmazingToast happens to be in the vicinity right now, though, so I think we have ourselves a ball game right now.
I wonder if this is it right here. This would be hilarious.
This would be
They're both
huge,
in the same
but both
room.
of them are in the same room. But the thing is, Putz knows where everything else is. AmazingToaster does not. So, wow. And he doesn't take the staircase. Interesting. Or did he take it? Nope, that's not it. That's not it.
Interesting.
We got excited for a moment.
Yeah, not going where Toaster wants to go, unfortunately. But
yep, unfortunately,
it's quite interesting that these guys were in the same room in the dungeon, and they were 4 minutes apart when they entered. So.
Wow, we all thought that's where the silver arrows were. That's the nature of level 9 for you. That's why it's so trolly. It's, for all we know, it could be a magical staircase.
And a nice fairy pickup for Toaster, going to make it a lot easier for him to get through that. And he's wisely clearing out this room, and the reason why that's wise is that he can contain the compass. Drops are not shuffled, so there should be a compass in a dark room somewhere.
Maybe Putz does not know where Ganon is. I thought there was indication in chat that he had spotted where Ganon was, but maybe not.
And I think this is the red ring here, so AmazingToaster are going to be able to pick that up as well. So this is anybody's race. They both know where to go.
Well, there's an all-important map for Putz.
Okay, J. Cooper saying that the compass in darkroom may not apply to shapes.
But AmazingToaster did just find the red ring, so his defense also quadrupled down to 1/4 damage himself. Going to make level 9 excavating much easier, especially given the fact he only had 7 hearts. So in essence, he now has 28 hearts. Putz, in essence, has 36.
Yes, indeed. And again, it's the staircase, it seems like, to get up to that very northwest portion, which is probably going to contain the silver arrows. So, quite interesting so far. Whoever finds that staircase first is going to have the advantage.
That is correct. So, we are just looking right now for those silver arrows. We know the vicinity, we just don't know exactly where they are.
J. Cooper, both Toaster and Putz were in the same area, and I believe that Toaster came in from the left, and Putz came in from the right, and neither of them could make it farther north than where they were.
Yep. Now, Amazing Toaster is back to where the general area where he needs to be. Again, we're talking northwest. That's a 4x4 quadrant of blocks, I believe. Now, Amazing Toaster just picked up the same hint. He now knows he's in the right area, but finding the room is a different story. Again, we could be talking about that magical staircase or two.
Yeah, we're going to double check these walls just to be sure. I'm almost positive that he checked them and did not have any luck, but never hurts to double check when you get that kind of a hint.
Especially when you have Boomstick. Putz, again, not in the right area where he needs to be to get to the silver arrows. Now, I don't know if the section Amazing Toaster is in is considered the northwest. If it is, maybe... Nope, he's not checking it. Maybe we've already seen it.
I think he's already been through those rooms and at this point realizes he needs to find a staircase somewhere.
Yeah, it's looking like magical staircase potentially at this point. Let's see. No, he's going to go ahead and take the staircase, and yeah, that is not it.
That could be possible, Jake Coper, as it seems like that entire line across the second row on the top. But ooh!
Well, he has found another section of northwestern level 9. If that's the case, Amazing Toaster could be on the right track, but we'll see. Right now, Putz still not on the right track of finding the silver arrows. Again, he's going to look for as many rooms as possible. He's got to get through these room full of buyers and keys first, and he's got some bubbles that he's going to have to contend with. But again, with the magic wand and boomstick, should be no problem. Finds a bomb hole to the left. No staircase, though. Still looking for that staircase, but he may be approaching where he needs to be. Now, finds a bomb hole, so he's got some... Maybe this is the room right here where all these blue keys are. Perhaps this is a pushable double block room. It is not! Oh, the troll double block. And Putz finds another staircase, but that ain't it.
Yeah, I mean, he's up in the northwest, though, and he's got access to pretty much everything up here. Again, Putt's going to have to find that staircase.
Yes, he does.
Looking in all the wrong spots. I don't know that he's found Ganon yet or not. I don't know that either have. I don't have their sound on, but you have to think that Toaster is in the right area.
Yep, he's just got to check a few of the rooms here, and that's what it's about. It's about excavating. You got to check your map, make sure that you have gone to all the spots, and if you've not been to a certain room, you better check that room. Check everything.
Putt's finding a staircase that takes him up to another area as well that's close to the northwest, so we'll see again. This could be it right here. This is the northwest.
It is considered the northwest. He's right on the edge of northwest. So I don't know if this double block staircase has been checked. If it has not, we may find the answer right here. Putz checking it. We have got silver arrows, and Putz12 looking like he's in a prime position to win this race.
Yeah, and Amazing Toaster up and A-ing, unfortunately, not finding where he needs to be. And depending on if Putz knows where Ganon is, then we have probably got our winner.
Yeah, it's looking like game, set, and match at this point. Level 9 not proven to be the great equalizer for Putz. It looks like he's going to have the lead and keep the lead going into level 9, winning this race, provided he has marked everything correctly.
Yeah, it looks like Ganon is right here by where the silver arrows were. So, interesting in and of that. I think Putz up an 8 and came back. I'm not quite sure. I could be wrong, but...
Yep, very close race again.
Oh, wow. Ganon's just north of the silver arrow room.
Yep, Ganon is in Ganon's room, so yep, the silver and Ganon right next to each other. Let the fight begin. Not 0 HP Ganon. It looks like it could be the standard 8. We've got 2 hits. There's 3, 4. He's got the stun lock. And 5, 6, 7, and 8. There it is. Ganon has been defeated. Putz will pick up the Triforce of Power. And again, provided he's mapped everything correctly, he is going to be a winner with a sub-hour time.
Yeah, just managed to find the correct path. It looked like Toaster might have had it there, but unfortunately, it ended up dead ending, and Putz found the correct way. So he's going to make his way over here to the left and into what should be Zelda's room. And a good game by Putz, played very well overall.
Boom! Yes, indeed. So there it is, right there. He's going to go into that room, Zelda's room, and rescue her, and that is going to put Putz 2-0 now in the game.
With a time of 53:53. And I believe we have Putz in the channel. Congratulations, sir.
Boom.
It was very close. You had a 4-minute lead going into 9, but Toaster found a spot in the northwest you hadn't been. Just turned out it wasn't the proper location.
It was staircase blocked up there. What can you do?
2 staircases, actually. It got to one portion that you hadn't been to that I believe was a different staircase.
Ah, gotcha.
But yeah, congratulations. Well raced.
So
Yeah, it was kind of an interesting start. I had a feeling that everything was the same, and then the white sword kind of confirmed it right off the bat.
Yes, indeed. We're talking everything is in its proper dungeons, all of the white sword items, all the caves, everything was in its proper positions. It was shapes, but yep, pretty close race between the two of you.
I'm sure we raced other things, but yeah.
Yep, I'm telling you what. So last night, great equalizer. You had to come from behind victory. This time, you had the lead going into level 9. Great equalizer, not affecting you this time. You had the lead, and you kept the lead. Just came down to which path you took, and you found the right path, and unfortunately, Toaster did not.
Well, my 9 really wasn't that efficient, I don't feel, because of the boomstick, because I was playing around with the boomstick way too much. You don't get the chance to play with it.
No, you don't.
It's stupid to do that in a race, but it's fun.
Yeah, incidentally, both players have the boomstick, AmazingToaster. He took some time, though, farming for the boomstick, you know, picking up the secrets along the way. But in the end, it doesn't look like that was going to matter. It's just you found the silver arrows quicker, and Ganon just happened to be right next to him, and that's all she wrote.
Yeah, I felt like I was 100%ing that whole seed. The level 7 item was what?
It's the wood boomerang.
Normal? Yeah, normal boomerang.
Yep.
It was just like whatever on that item at that point, because truthfully, you still could technically be trolled, and that could have been Silver Arrow, but
Could have been.
I took a small gamble.
But yep, by process of elimination, neither of you picked it up. You went with Triforce and Go after you picked it up in level 7. But yeah, by process of elimination, indeed, Lord Banana was there.
Yeah, the odds of just Silver Arrow and Red Ring in 9 as the default is pretty high at that point.
Indeed.
It doesn't mean it can't happen.
So again, congratulations to you, Putz. You are now 2-0, so you are in a pretty good position. You're automatically in the race-off at the very worst. But if you can win just one more race, you'll be guaranteed a spot in the knockout stage. And also, because you're 2-0, you don't have to face off against guys like RC Drone or Crystal Saver or Unos or
They already
Cooper.
lost?
They're in the 1-1. Those guys are in the 1-1 situation, yes.
The 1-1 group
Don't get me wrong.
is a death group. It is pretty crazy. There is a lot of really, really stacked players in that group. So the 2-0 group is kind of the safe group at this point.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. There's still some pretty strong runners in the 2-0 group as well. Let me take a look here quick.
I think he just got the compass. That might have actually been the correct staircase. Remind me, Putz, do you remember which staircase went up towards the Silver Arrows?
Was the one,
It looked like a right-hand staircase, and he's been to a couple.
E7, the first E?
Okay.
Like the bottom southwest corner?
Yeah, I think he was in the right staircase and died to the Patra, unfortunately.
Yep. Bresticle, Adaginos, our very own Adaginos right here. Crimson Avix, Jam Evil, Dracatos, F. Coughlin, Dragon Dark, and Darkwing Duck are all 2-0, and Putz12 joins them at 2-0.
I thought Crim was 2-0.
Crimson is 2-0. Yep, Crimson Avix 2-0.
Yeah, he said if
Dracatos.
he gets paired, he's going to wish me luck nonstop, so I'm calling it now. I'm rescheduling every match if he wishes me luck.
Yep.
Yeah, and don't count out Dracatos either. He's 2-0 now as well, and he has proven to be an exceptional player at Randomizer. Took down Unos, put Unos in the 1-1 group with a fantastic seed, so definitely don't count him out.
Absolutely not. Yeah, we're going to have some exciting races coming up in the third round of action. Again, all the powerful 2-0s, all the powerful 1-1s. But yeah, getting to that 2-0, I mean, to at least guarantee you that you live to fight another day.
Yeah. I'm kind of shocked that you said I only had a 4-minute lead going into 9.
Yep, 4 minutes and 33 seconds is what I had written down.
Yeah, you guys were neck and neck for the majority of the seed. The only thing that really took some time deviation was you switched places on 4 and 3, and he went to 3 first. And you got that earlier recorder, and it took him just a little bit of extra time to clear that out. And you also had Boomstick right away, whereas he had to go get, I believe, 90 rupees in order to buy that. So that probably took up about 2 minutes of the 4 minutes on top of it. So, but it was super close. Like, you guys were switching back and forth and in the same exact place for the entire game.
That level 4 Wizard Room was funny as hell.
Yeah. Plus,
I got 4 of them stuck.
Yep, AmazingToaster ended up getting 2 stuck of his own, so yeah, he had no trouble with the blue wizards. But level 6, in my opinion, level 6, yours was more efficient than AmazingToaster's. Toaster took a few deaths in level 6, but it looked like you didn't have too much of a problem in level 6, and you gained some time on Toaster as well, as Toaster just found the silver arrows.
You know, honestly, this really sucks. If my level 8 was routed a little differently, this would have been a whole different seed. Because level 8 had the raft and the magic key.
Yes, indeed.
Yep.
If I would have found magic key first, I would have skipped the second item. Assuming that it was magic shield at that point. And I would have skipped almost everything in every dungeon, figuring, you know, hey, 4's got the ladder, 3's got the raft, 1's got the bow.
Yeah, it's an interesting choice. And we had a seed the other day where we had the red candle in 7 and the book in 8, or the any key in 8, and we're like, okay, we're good. This is normal items, and yeah. And then we found the item in level 4, and it was the bloomerang, and we're like, okay, well, I guess not.
Unfortunately, Ganon just took down AmazingToaster. And by the way, yes, here's the thing. Yeah, you make a very valid point there, Putz, because it did turn out AmazingToaster did discover the any key first, then the raft.
And he actually died to a key before he could pick up the any key.
That's right, and then he went back.
He ended up finding the raft super quick right after, so it probably actually saved him time overall to take a death.
Yep,
My 8 was pretty bad, though, I thought.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, both of you had a lot of problems with 8 because it was of how long it was.
It was really short if you got the right route, but...
Yep, neither one of you found it, though.
My route. And then 5 right off the bat, that clip is always a pain with no items. That took me a couple tries.
TG just posted in chat. He's hoping that the 1-on-1 draws is going to be AmazingToaster versus Amazing Ampharos.
That would be amazing.
That would be amazing. You're right. That's what Dracatos just said.
And my Ganon fights normally are pretty bad, so I was actually pretty happy with that Ganon fight.
Yeah, it was pretty good. You got the stun lock on him, didn't take damage, and yeah, pretty good seed for you. It was just a couple of minor factors, but yep, it was enough for you to win this race. So congratulations. Any other questions for Putz at Aginos?
Just good game, and welcome to the 2-0 group. I'm glad that you're doing better, and I hope that you continue to do better, sir.
Oh, my arm's a lot worse today, so it was harder to do stuff. But I'll at least have a week now to rest it. So I should be 100% next race. Minus the link to the past stuff.
Toaster's down to 1 heart right now, so if he gets a hug, he's out. Watch out. Ooh, just avoided the high roll driver there. Still has 1 heart left, but he's got like half the hits he needs. He needs to find that stun lock. He may have just gotten it right there. A couple more hits left to go. There it is. Ganon down. AmazingToaster will pick up the Triforce of Power. He just needs to backtrack up and away to go back to where Zelda is, and AmazingToaster will finish this seed off about 10 minutes behind.
Yeah, still well played by him. Again, it just came down to finding the silver arrows in 9. I think he did everything right. He just unfortunately took some deaths in some inopportune places in level 6, and I think in one of the earlier dungeons as well, and set him back just a little bit. And then just, you know, he found the right way to the northwest, but you couldn't get up to where he needed to be. But does finish with a time of 1:03:51, just 10 minutes shy of the Putz.
All right, and it does look like we have Amazing Toaster here in the commentators booth. Amazing Toaster, a good race. You guys were neck and neck virtually the entire way, and you still had a chance to win a level 9. You were about 4 minutes behind going back in, and both of you had a lot of trouble finding the silver arrows, but unfortunately, Putz just found them a little faster than you. Go over the seed with us.
It was any percent plus shapes plus boomstick.
Yes, indeed. Yep, that's exactly what it was. That level 9, even with the boomstick, I mean, it was still quite a trolley path. What were your thoughts about it?
I got that hint that it was in the northwest, and then I found that staircase that went to kind of a isolated bit of the northwest, and then I just spent too much time digging up there. And then I finally found Zelda's room, or did I find I found the compass first, and then I found her room and found out I needed the silver, and then I finally found the staircase. That was after Putz had already finished, to get up to the and then the silver arrow was right south of Ganon's room.
I heard you got a boomstick awfully late as far as the book.
Yeah, I went into 6 thinking that the ladder was in there, because I didn't go to. I went into. I had the recorder, so I went into 7, and saw that it was ladder blocked, and then I went to 6 thinking, oh, the ladder's in here, and I happened upon the one. I was like, okay, let's get up enough money to buy that book, because it makes 9 and by that point 7 a whole lot easier to do once you've got that, to blow open walls and kill things.
I'd have to see our race again, but after my first routing, I basically went to wood sword to get the candle right away. Tried to farm enough hearts to get a white sword, and then I also bought the book right away.
Yeah, I went up to the. Well, I went in and saw that hint at start. Went up to the shop and saw that it looked like a the shop that was normally there. It had the book in it, and then I was like, okay, the sword's going to be at start, because this looks like it's a stock first quest map.
Yep.
And I picked up the sword. Did 1, and then I went back to start, did 2 and 5. I had only 4 hearts. I checked the white sword cable. I was like, I only had 4 hearts at the time. So I went and did 8, I think, and had 6 hearts. I burnt some things, and I was up to 6 hearts, so I went and picked up white sword, and then did like 3, 4, 6, 7 or something like that. It was.
I kind of went right in order. I went from 8 to 2 to 5 to 1 to 4 to 3. 7 to 6.
I took advantage of where start was to do 2 and 5 early.
Yeah. Sorry to interrupt your questioning, guys.
Nah, don't worry about it. I think we've covered pretty much all of the bases. Combat looked to be also a small factor here. I'm looking at the screens right now. 9 deaths on Toaster side, just 2 for Putz. How about that level 4 where you had to do those 6 blue wizards and you were able to get the manipulation on getting them stuck? That was pretty cool, huh?
Yeah, I got them stuck in the NSU, and I knew I could do it, and then I bombed some of them, and then the rest were stuck, and I was like, oh, okay, let's just kill them.
I only had a half a heart in that spot, and I got 4 of them stuck. So I did the rest of that dungeon finding the item with only half a heart.
That was quite impressive on your end there, Putz. So yeah, well played to both of you. Congratulations again, both of you. Putz, congratulations, 2-0. So you're guaranteed at the very least a spot in the race-off. 1 more victory, and you will be in the knockout stage, guaranteed. Amazing Toaster, definitely not out of it yet. You're 1-1. You still need just 1 more win to at least guarantee yourself a spot in the race-off. And of course, you could still win out and make it to the knockoff stage yourself that way.
Yep.
Yep. Congratulations to you, Putz and Toaster. You're definitely not out of it. The 1-1 bracket's going to be a little bit rough, but I think you'll do just fine. You're a very confident player, so
It's half the field.
yeah, it is half the field. So I mean, it's anything can go. We do have another race coming up here between Janice Seal and Zarnax 42 in roughly 10 minutes. So I think we're going to head on out for the night. But thank you to both of the racers for racing tonight and putting on a fantastic show. Thanks to Feasel and Speed Gaming 2 for hosting these races. And thank you to Laz for co-commentating with me tonight. It's been a lot of fun.
My
And
pleasure.
thank you, Feasel, for trying to jinx me early.
Didn't work.
Yep, didn't work. But so coming up next is going to be Janice Zeal versus Zarnax 42. Let me take a look at the records here quick on those two. Both of them are 1-0, so they'll have a shot to join Putz in the 2-0 group. One of them will have that opportunity. We'll have that race for you about 15 minutes from now. So stay tuned. You don't want to miss it.
Okay, and good evening, everybody, and we are back here in the saddle for yet another Zelda 1 randomizer race. I am the Greenleaf Effect, and going to be joining me for this race here is going to be Panzer Dave.
Hello, everyone. Hope everyone is doing well this wonderful Tuesday morning. Or at least it's Tuesday morning in the East Coast.
Yeah, for most of us, yeah. You lucky guys on the West Coast, you're still, in the heart of prime time.
Lucky 11 p.m.
Absolutely. So we just saw, the last race coming up here we just had was, all things considered, pretty vanilla.
It was pretty much any percent minus. I unfortunately didn't catch most of it, but from what it looked almost any percent with the exception of items.
Yeah, it was first quest, nothing shuffled. Enemies were the same. I think the only thing that was different was, items were shuffled between dungeons.
Yeah, and silver somehow ended up in 9 still.
Well, there's still that 50% chance that silver arrows and red ring are going to be in 9, so,
I didn't know Fred Ring was in there either.
I have no idea. I got home from work right as Putz finished, so I'm giving the quick and dirty recap that I gleaned from our nice little tracker that you see at the bottom of the screen.
Yes. This tracker is amazing. I love using it because I'll forget 30 minutes in where I've been.
Absolutely. So speaking of that, I guess I will ask you, because this is a random percent category and we don't know exactly what flags are going to be here, what flags do you want to see?
Shuffle caves, enemy HP shuffled, not at 0, shuffled items, boomstick. Here's my thing on boomstick. I love boomstick as a flag. I don't like it on the competitive side, and it's just because it's ridiculously strong once you get it.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that. I mean, the one thing that Boomstick does, it basically eliminates the need to mitigate, resource management, because you can just go willy-nilly with bombs. The only thing you'll need them for with a Boomstick is bombing the overworld. So I 100% agree with you. The biggest thing that I personally want to see is, because, in my opinion, it allows for the most challenge, is I want to see mixed overworld.
Mixed overworld is a huge challenge because it does require knowledge of both second quest and first quest. And if you are good enough with how the cave system works in Zelda 1, you can almost eliminate what possibilities there are based on what opens and what does not open. So if you're good enough, you can narrow down what you're going to need real quick.
Right, and the other good thing is, if I can't have mixed, I prefer second quest, just because with both mixed and second quest overworld, it opens up the door for needing more items, because in first quest overworld, there's only 4 spots for a power bracelet. There's a 50% chance those are still going to be the any roads. There's only 1 spot for the recorder. The raft spots are going to be 2 no matter what. With a mixed and with a second quest overworld, the need for a recorder and or potentially a power bracelet increases, so it makes it so you need more items to access things.
Yes, dramatically. The whistle spots I believe the whistle spots go up to 2 in Deadwoods, 3 in Deadwoods if you count the lake, Grave, 1 in Death Mountain, 3 in the desert. Second quest level 2 is a whistle then, and also the second quest forest spot. So it really does open up the need for the whistle and the power bracelet more. Power bracelet only adds 3 potential new spots, but that whistle on second quest is huge.
Yeah, and the other interesting thing with the recorder is one of the options that can be checked is whistle to the new dungeons or not. And there is a potential that even if, say we have shuffled caves like you were talking about, that the recorder will whistle you to the normal cave locations of the first quest dungeons. So that could be a very interesting thing. Say, for example, and I've had this happen to me in a race probably 3-4 months ago. It was random, just doing random flags, and whistle to new dungeons was off. So I had beaten everything and I still didn't have the raft, so I knew that level 9 was on a raft spot. There's a 50-50 chance that, it's on the east raft or level 4's raft.
Yep. I
whistled to where level 4 was, and hey, look, I can bypass the raft to get to level 9.
Yeah, it's interesting when that does happen. You get it does eliminate, it allows for some flexibility. Chances of that happening, you have to roll the right flags and hope for the best with it, but still, it can happen for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. But all things considered, the biggest thing for me that I want to see is just, I want to see flags that allow both the players here, both Zarnax and Janice, to show off what they're capable of with playing the randomizer.
Yes. You do see some any percent races. I've had one of them when we were doing warm-up practice flags for this. It was no cave shuffle, item shuffle, 0 HP enemies, and I was done in like 35 minutes. And I'm like, it's like that's the downside to these flags is, you know, you can have that role of just it's super easy, and you just like, okay, and that really does favor the any percent player over, you know, just a non any percent player, because they're gonna understand the logic a little bit more. Like they know level 4. If you get the raft out of 3, level 4, or if it's somewhere else, level 4 has a tendency to be ladder blocked more often than not.
Oh yeah,
it's just because of the bottleneck nature of the shape of level 4.
Yeah, absolutely. And then, of course, speaking of shapes, you know, we have the option for the levels to be their normal shapes that you see in any percent, or the algorithm can create the randomized dungeon shapes.
Yep.
And, you know, as you said, you know, understanding the logic between 3 and 4 and non-shapes is perfectly fine. And you're right, that does give the advantage to any percent players. But for those people who play just a lot more randomizer, who've played a lot of these shape seeds, that could be an advantage for them, understanding, you know, that there is a certain way that the shapes logic tends to work. And if you're, you know, searching around looking for which wall you're going to have to bomb to continue without a map, you know, there's certain things that tend to be true more often than not in scenarios like that.
Yes. You know, shapes logic is interesting in that it tries to build up rather than left to right, but doesn't always do so. And this has just been my general rule of thumb whenever I play shapes is I want to try to go up as much as possible until I find the map, or if it's 7 and 8, those are the ones that can really get the oddball shapes, and it's because there's only in the program itself how it is done is 7 and 8 share one, what is it, 8x16 map? I think it is.
Technically, 1 through 6 share the same 16 by 16 grid.
Yeah.
And 7 through 9 share the same 16 by 16 grid. But I believe the way that's how it is in the original game. I believe the way Fred did it, though, was that 7 and 8 share one 8 by 8, and 9 has an 8 by 8 all to itself.
Yeah. So when 7 and 8 get together, they tend to make some more funky shapes. Like we had a level 7 last night that was so weird because when you entered level 8, you had to zigzag from the bottom right up to the middle. And it was like it was just a really weird shape that you would not normally see else in 1 through 6. And it was really interesting. You can come up with some interesting shapes.
Yeah, absolutely.
This.
And speaking of interesting, I would like to point out that both of our runners are not using the traditional Link sprite. We've got Tingle on the left and the Lionel on the right.
Those Lionels can just die in a fire.
Well, if we don't have the boomstick on and we get an early surprise book, then it could very well die in its own fire.
Because my goodness, Lionels are jerks on the overworld.
Yes, they are, and that's one of the big things. You know, if the overworld enemies get swapped, which is another flag that could be a possibility, you could end up wandering the overworld with no sword, and hey, here's 6 blue Lionels. Hey, here's 6 more blue Lionels. Hey, have some red Lionels too, because that's what we're gonna do.
And all of them by start, because just how it rolls.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I think if I were to take a poll of the things in this game that kill me most, 1 and 1A would be Wizrobes and Lionels.
Yeah, and speaking of Wizrobes, I will say that Randomizer has gotten me a lot better when I'm doing any percent combat with Wizrobes, and this is one advantage of playing Randomizer and then going to an any percent run, is you see a lot more Wizrobes, so you understand their movement better and your combat will get better with it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I 100% agree. I just started picking up doing any percent, and because of, you know, you learn, you know, with Randomizer that sometimes you end up having to go into a Wizrobe dungeon with 4 hearts and a wood sword. So you learn pretty quickly, hey, I better learn to fight these things.
Yep, exactly. And, you know, and a lot of people, you know, with Randomizer, especially this one in particular, there's so much that can be changed. But one of the core skills that is really, really required for good runs and consistent run times is combat. Your combat really needs to be on point for this.
Oh, 100%. And speaking of things you may or may not need, I do want to remind everybody that, you know, you see a lot of the people running these and you're seeing, you know, screen wraps and block clips. None of those tricks will ever be required to beat a seed. The logic in the game is such that you will never have to use a clip at all to beat a seed. It does help if you know how to do them, but if you've never played this before and you want to try it out, by all means you can. You will never need to use any of these complicated tricks to beat a seed.
And if you do, yell at Fred.
Yes,
because
absolutely.
that means we have a logic inconsistency somewhere, and Fred needs to know.
And we've broken enough of his randomizers that we've seen it all.
Yes, we have. We've been playing this for a long. I just realized this. I've been playing this for over a year now.
I've been doing commentary on it for over a year now. Does that count?
Yeah, because you still see a lot of the stuff that we go through.
Oh yeah, and before I actually started playing it, I was the I don't know how to do any tricks testing guy. So if I found something wrong, there's a problem.
Yep. All right, and it looks like we are getting ready to roll here.
Here we go. We're getting the confirmation from SRL chat. We'll be beginning in 5 seconds. Of course, we have stream delay count on as well.
Yep. And looks like 3, 2, 1. Off we go to the races, everyone. Potentially.
Pending.
Yes, Slurpee. Over a year and retired already. And
random start screen.
Well, as far as random goes, it's kind of a nah. You're starting 2 screens away from start, and the wood sword is, of course, in its cave. There's a 50% chance of that just being outright there. So.
Yep, and I 100% agree with what Zarnax is doing right now. In these flags, if I see the wood sword in the start cave, I immediately make a beeline to level 1's location, because if level 1 is there, I have a pretty good idea where I'm looking for my next levels.
Exactly. And if it's not there, then you start looking for everything else. Zarnax trying to get a bomb and does. So one thing that is the same about any percent most of the time with Randomizer is your first kill is going to be, if you kill a blue enemy, it's going to be on a bomb count unless bomb groups are shuffled. And we find a letter ladder in level 1, so caves are shuffled.
An interesting note for Zarnax, opting to not take the letter, just leaving it there. And now he's opting to screen wrap over to the over to the grave to check the Armos item there, which is a good call because, again, 50% chance the Armos item is still going to be right over here.
Exactly. He'll take the candle here for sure. Free candle's always nice.
Yeah, absolutely. It allows him to start burning things here in high roll, so that's always good because there's a pretty good chance that things are going to be there.
No, yep, it's not. Yep, there it is. Power bracelet moves 2 spots to the left. Also to note here, it looks like 0 HP enemies, which is really unfortunate.
And also a 0 HP Tingle, as that Lionel decided I wanted to take a bite out of him.
This is what I mean when I say Lionels are jerks. They just completely wrecked poor Zarnax as he tried to go get the push block there to see if it's a take any road or not. He can check that if he wants to by start, though.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, we've got our door repair message as Big Bucks No Whammy. It's going to be going back to a little Peter Tomarken and Press Your Luck back in the 80s.
Yes. It's a good game show.
It was. Bonus points if you actually remember the host's name was Peter Tomarken.
Yes. And you had, I believe, Rod Rodney on announcing as well.
I believe you did. And we also got level 6 over here, 1 screen to the south of the normal blue ring shop. And speaking of blue ring shops, we just saw one over on Zarnax's side, and it looks as if... Well, we get snipe, but it looks as if prices are not shuffled, and neither are shop contents.
Yeah, so it looks like you'll see the usual 130, 100 secrets. Depending if this is first quest or second quest or mixed, you will see either 3 100 secrets or 1 100 secret. Also something to note here, I believe there are normal dungeon shapes here.
That's definitely what it looks like. And also, well, these blue Wizrobes confirm we're on a 0 HPC, which is always good when you're dealing with Wizrobes. And it looks as if right now we can't tell for sure, but enemy groups don't look to be shuffled either.
Yeah, and this one's a little harder to tell just because they could be shuffled and you still had Wizrobes ending up in 6. We won't know this until we see a little bit more. Interesting to note, that was a clock off of a blue Wizrobe. And I'm trying to remember my enemy groups, but pretty sure that can't happen.
Guerrilla grumbles along the coast. Now, that's going to tell us something here because we have gotten normal, or we've gotten some community hints so far. So because the hints that we're seeing aren't the normal everyday ones that you see in the vanilla game, we do know for a fact that these are not going to be the deceptive hints. So we are either going to be in mixed hints, or we are going to be, or we're actually in the helpful hints. So Guerrilla grumbling along the coast is, tells us that 7 is along the coast somewhere.
Yep. Interesting thing that you can do in the room that Janice was in that we just recently discovered. You see how there was a shutter door with the key door there? You can actually force the key door open without a key if you kill the last enemy and push against the key door. The game triggers, for whatever reason, all the doors open at the same time.
Yeah, so that was a hint, a trick that was discovered. The first time I ever saw it was over in the last randomizer tournament, and level 6 is in that nice little spot there, right above. Well, where level 4 is. Level 4 here is this bright green over on Janice's side of things. It's in the blue ring shop where you normally buy the bait in the any % run. Level 6 right below that in the arrow shop.
Yep. So both shops that you have to visit at any % to complete the game, both players are going to have to visit those spots anyways to beat the game. Level 4 is just not a level you want to be in too much. Just, again, because you run into the potential of getting blocked so early. And it's important to note that second quest doors and rooms are not on. So, you see these maze room here, and then the two blocks, the 2 block rooms, or the 3 block rooms there. In second quest, those would normally push. In this, they will not push. That will happen possibly in the later rounds.
Yeah, not looking forward to that. And hey, we've got our first Triforce pickup. Janice going to pick up the Triforce in level 4, which, note, is not in its own room.
Nope, it is not. So we know things are shuffled around. I don't blame him for leaving, honestly. And it's just because, well, he's going back in. I just find that with the maze room in there and the other room, it looks like rooms are not shuffled between dungeons. And you can run into about 3 different river rooms that will just completely impede your progress.
Yeah, but 4 is a small enough dungeon that going back in to take a quick little peek isn't the worst thing in the world. Because, you run into a river block, you didn't lose too much time. It's not like level 6 or level 7 where you have a whole mess of rooms to search around in.
Yes, and since we know that these are not shapes, we know that they will not want to dig in level 7 for much.
And there's the ladder block you were talking about, and dungeon enemy sets are shuffled, as we see some Stalfos.
Yep.
And it appears as if our any roads are not shuffled at all.
Nope. So any roads are not shuffled, which is good for the players because they can get around. They can get around the map very easily. Yeah, we see bombs dropping off of levers. We know that the enemy drops are now shuffled for sure here, and that bomb spot not opening on the coast means we are at the very least on second quest, possibly mixed.
Ooh, that is very fun to see.
Let's see here. And Zarnax is exploring the coast, and he finds level 5. Was that the first one or the second one?
I don't know. I was watching Janice go through 6 at the time, but we know it's on the coast. Which, explosions, we get some bomb upgrade there. So bomb upgrade men don't appear to be shuffled. 100 rupees, 4 bombs.
Yep. Unless it's very off chance that it's 100 rupees and you get 2 bombs.
Yeah, that never fun.
No. You end up overpaying for a bomb. And it's just like, ah, feels bomb, man.
Feels bomb, man. Dungeon rooms are shuffled.
They are shuffled.
We have a corridor staircase in level 5, which does not normally contain one. So dungeon rooms are in fact shuffled between dungeons.
And the heart dropping in actually the heart room. That room normally contains a dig dogger that makes you spin right round.
However, the heart in level 6, not in said room, because it's in a horizontal river room with a bunch of spike traps.
Yeah, those spike traps aren't fun to deal with either. Oh, wow. At the end of level 6 is a Triforce.
Well, as this game is wont to do, here, we're going to let you go all the way through this level. And, oh, by the way, here's the Triforce at the very
Exactly.
end. Speaking of Triforces, it's a pretty early one, level 5 for Zarnax.
Zarnax picks up his second Triforce. He just opts to go, and it looks like that is actually the second coast there, so...
Yep. You will be seeing that updating on the tracker right now. So now the big thing is going to be, what's that ladder item on the coast? Is it the heart that we normally get? Is it something else? You break it, you buy it. Just don't break my Mr. Banana Lamp and we'll be fine. It's
something that...
Yeah. Oh, and actually, this is a very interesting hint you see there that Janice is getting level 6. Fire the arrow to reach the heart container. Now that means that somewhere in a staircase room, a Goma is blocking the heart container.
Yeah, it's important to note right here that that burn bush where level 8 is did not actually burn. So there's a very good chance that
well, that confirms right now that we know we're either on second or mixed quest.
Yep, and we won't know, unfortunately, until we either see level 2 and level 5 locations.
This is one of my favorite things, by the way. The Triforce room with enemies.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and Feasel, trust me, the crazier thing is going to be when you see the Lincolnils on the world map firing sword beams.
Uh-huh. It's like, oh, hey, there's a Link firing sword beams, and Zarnax picks up the Triforce in 3.
Actually, no, that's a very good point being made in chat. It is mixed overworld because the spot directly above start did bomb.
Oh,
and that
yep.
level 3 being level 3 confirms it right there.
Yep. So, both players are probably going to want the power bracelet and whistle a lot more now.
An interesting move from Zarnax, picking up the Triforce out of level 3 and just opting to head on up out of Dodge. We still have not found a single item in the dungeons yet. We've already have 5 Triforces between 4 dungeons between our 2 players.
Yeah, exactly. I don't necessarily disagree with it moving on now, but at the same time, that's not the right spot, Janice.
Yeah, well,
I'm pretty sure he's going to recognize that.
Yeah, he already bombed it once, and he bombed the correct spot. Hey, Zarnax gambling and winning.
Yay! Oh, Janice finding a heart container. Choose any. I'm pretty sure you take the candle in any situation here.
Absolutely.
But I don't disagree with the decision in level 3. I would personally find the item in 3, and it's just because it's a short enough dungeon.
Yeah, absolutely. Just like Janice went back into 4 to look around because it's a pretty short dungeon, I would have absolutely gone into level 3. But it looks like we're going with some pretty true low percent strats right now. Each one has a heart container, but aside from that, we're going, minimalist.
Well, and honestly, and this is just me, if it's 0 HP enemies, I don't want more than 3 hearts because I can get a beam star just by FAing.
I 100% agree with what you're just saying there. And we have come across level 7.
Yep. Level 7 is in the letter spot.
Which is on the coast.
Yep. So we can assume these hints are true here. based on everything that we have found.
You know, I can 100% agree with you with the wanting beam sword. I actually unintentionally did it my first race. I just couldn't find any hearts at all. So I was, for 45 minutes was unintentionally on, low percent 3 heart stress. It was honestly great because 0 HP enemies, you're 100% right. Beam sword makes things so much easier.
It does. And the only downside to this is obviously when you're fighting Ganon. But at the same time, there's a 50% chance that Ganon's just not even required. So I definitely don't disagree with just keeping it 3 hearts, or if you find another heart, just take a potion.
And there's level 1. And look at Zarnax go. 4 Triforces, no items. This is crazy.
He's just blitzing through all this, and Janice is doing the same thing. Janice is just not finding nearly as much because it all ended up, unfortunately, on the right side of the map.
Yeah, but the thing about this right now is we could have the potential, as you said, if Ganon isn't required. Zarnax is making the absolute correct call here, though he is going to find an item here in this room if he so desires to go down those stairs.
I would, just because at this point, you haven't found an item in 4 dungeons. You want to look.
And he finds the recorder, of course. The one you want to find.
Oh, goodness. You really want to find a recorder and, at this point, ladder. And Janice is going to try to pick up the bracelet, but there's a lot of Armoses on there. He's just going to reset the screen, and he's going to pick up the bracelet here.
Yeah, they're just practicing their marching orders for when the Great Armos Uprising of 1725 happens.
I don't blame them. They've been bullied enough.
Yeah, absolutely. And I do... the recorder there, as we said earlier, is a great item to find because now all the overworld spots, save for 2, are now open for Zarnax. Those 2, of course, being the raft spots.
Oh, and, come on!
0 HP bosses.
Oh, man. Alright, well, Zarnax may take this Triforce and just go back in to find the second item, since it's an easy enough dungeon. And now Janice is on the right side of the map, courtesy of the Take Any roads. So if he does his exploring, he'll run across these dungeons that Zarnax has been in as well. Nope, he's not going back in. He's just blitzing.
That's crazy.
Yeah, he opted to take the Triforce and just go. And again, not a bad strategy. He can whistle potentially back to any dungeon he's been into. The only problem is if whistle to old dungeons is off, he's going to have a heck of a time getting back up there. He's going to have to whistle to level 2 to get back to level 1 and 7.
Yeah, but hey, I agree with Strange Players. I agree with this blitzing. I'm not just sure if I would do it, but I agree with it.
Yeah, you still have the potential for a lot of blocks in these dungeons, so it's a risk you're willing to take here. But we're 16, almost 17 minutes in, and Zarnax has 5 Triforces. He knows where level 8 is already. He's just looking to find level 2, and that's level 2 and 9. I think are the only ones that Zarnax does not know about.
That would be correct, yeah. And he could have found a hint for level 2 had he continued to look around level 1 a little bit, but...
Yeah, and, this is where you may want to consider looking for the hints, because they will lead you to the correct dungeons, it looks like, with these flags that are on.
Ooh, Zarnax not even pushing the... blocks there in the Lost Hills. That could be a fatal move there.
It could be. We'll see if there's anything there, if Janice remembers to push it or not.
Yeah, but doing some fancy little dodging to get by the blue Lionel, get into the cave. Unfortunately, only rewarded with 30 rupees. Not necessarily the best, but we knew the white sword wasn't there. We got the hint for that.
Yep.
And Zarnax has gambled twice and won twice.
Zarnax is up to 235 rupees. He could potentially... Uh-oh. Well, he needs a ladder if he wants to go look in that cave. So... he's not sure if he hit that. Oh, both ladder spots. So if you don't know, one trick, if you see the blue Lionel there, just a single blue Lionel that's normally there guarding the White Sword Cave, you can actually force him onto a better pattern by going down and back up again.
Ooh, there's some hints. That's it. So raft not required. Sail not to save the princess. That's a huge hint for Zarnax to find, especially the way he's gambling.
Yep. Red ring's an 8.
Ooh, silver and red ring shuffled out of 9 based on that hint.
And red candle in level 2. Old woman is just full of useful hints today, which is good.
Yeah, no, the big thing there is that red ring hint is huge.
Yes. He may actually dig for it, but with 0 HP enemies, it may not be necessary.
Jan is trying to clip here to get that key. Unfortunately, it's not going to allow him to do that.
No. You can't clip. If there was a bomb there that you could potentially stab, yes. But not a stationary item, no. You can't clip it across and get it.
No, because you cannot stab any of their room drop items. So basically, if you can grab it with a boomerang or an arrow, you can clip and stab it. Otherwise, because you can't get room drops with those, you can't clip and stab, unfortunately.
Oh!
However, Lionels can clip and stab, and they're also going to, cause you to spin around, dance, and, well, that's what happens when you do a little flash dance.
Yeah, Tingle got a Kulu Limpa right to the backside, unfortunately.
And look at this.
Whistle to old
dungeons.
That's actually good for Zarnax, because he can reach a lot of places now without having to go too far. Like, he can check all these whistle screens without having to go around and walk to places. I'm surprised he didn't whistle there, because that is a potential whistle spot.
Zarnax looked like he stopped in the bay there for a second, but do I get the potion? Nah, we'll just go with the heart. This does guarantee him the white sword now.
White sword is probably a formality at this point, based on what we've seen. I mean, it could be useful for killing Ganon, but ultimately, like, no bosses are going to be a problem. No enemies should be a problem. White sword is just...
Ooh. Did you see that hidden fire?
No, I didn't.
Fire the arrow to locate the red ring. Red ring is Goma blocked in 8.
Interesting hint. Not necessarily going to be a problem for the players if it's in a diamond staircase or an open staircase, but could be a problem if it's in a single block push or a double block push.
Right, but the fun thing here now is with that, we know that bosses are contained within the same dungeon, so knowing now that Gomas are in 8, that potentially, is in my mind, tells me that the 2 items in 8 right now are Heart Container and Red Ring.
Yes. Play a melody to obtain a 10 rupee. Oh, that's just never...
And also, the other thing that's pointed out is that's 2 fire and arrow hints in the same seed. I think I've gone 2 months before I've seen a fire the arrow hint. We've just got 2 within 5 minutes of each other.
Yes. That is true, too. Janice does know. See, this is why I didn't necessarily agree with where he blew that whistle. Because if it did open up, he would have to walk all the way back around.
Oh yeah, 100% agree. Yeah, absolutely 100% agree with that. Although I have done that before, just like, oh, is this gonna be a cave? If not, okay, I'm good. If it is, well, then we're coming back later.
Yeah. But Zarnax will be checking all these second quest whistle spots. And it looks like Janice is still poking around in 5, trying to maneuver his way around without a ladder. Which he can do. This is, so far he hasn't run into any issues yet.
we do have the reporter spot in the grave, and that's where level 2 is located. So the one item that Zarnax finds in a dungeon is the one he needs to unlock a level.
Yep. Oh man, that's funny. That's where normal second quest level 6 is actually.
And he knows he doesn't need to find the item in here because he knows it's the red candle.
Yes. If you run across it, I will still pick it up for 0 HP enemies. Oh no, if the Triforce is in that bunny room, he has to find the ladder. And that's a possibility.
It is a possibility. That would be the ultimate in trolling technology, though.
It would be. It really would be. Yeah, this one will definitely test both players' knowledge of second quest spots and willingness to gamble here. And Zarnax is just not even going to deal with that room. He's just bombing out of it and going back around.
That's one of the good parts about Vanilla Level 2 is the fact that every spot can be bombed into except for bombing down into the old man. So every room is connected here, and Zarnax checking and seeing if he needs the ladder right now, killing that, well, as long as the bunny decides to die, and nope, it's the red candle.
The red candle.
Step over the water to reach the red candle.
Yeah, he's fine for right now, but seeing that river room scares you. Because now you know that you can have double river rooms in here, and it can not be good.
Also a fun thing of note, blue Darknuts dropping bombs.
Yes. And we have Janice in 3 now. I'll see. It'll be interesting to see if he just goes for the Triforce or if he runs for the item in here. And either way I don't disagree with.
And there's a beautiful find there for Zarnax with the compass. And like you said earlier, if I'm, Janice at this point, I'm absolutely looking for the item. In his mind, he's 25 minutes in. He's got 3 Triforces. He hasn't found any items because he's tried digging. He's been ladder blocked or things of other natures. I would absolutely be looking for the item in 3. 3 is a small enough dungeon that you can get away with it.
Yeah. And moment of truth here. Are we going to be blocked?
Nope.
There was the potential of an island room there, so Zarnax picking up his 6th Triforce. He is seeing very few items. He knows where level 8 is now, and he knows where 6 is, so the only one he doesn't know where is located is level 9.
But statistically speaking, Death Mountain's a pretty good spot.
Yeah. Uh-oh. Well, that's a ladder room.
Yeah, that is Manhandla in a Chevy room.
So the good news is he should be able to get around that. Yeah, Janice with 1 key, which is really unfortunate. Zarnax has 8 keys, but only because he has not done any digging in these dungeons whatsoever.
And Janice coming across the Triforce there, and does opt through what we said and is going to go continue to take a look around.
Yeah, and I don't blame him. That room won't respawn because of the bubbles in it, so he's free just to leave it and come back.
And this looks like it could be a staircase room for Janice as Zarnax picks up the potion. Nope, there's a drop!
There's a rupee drop. This is where you don't want to spend a key, but at the same time, you have to look and hope you just get that key back.
Yeah, and then no, J. Dirk, the hint we saw was a Fraggle Rock as an entrance to death. I mean Spectacle Rock. It's one of the community hints, just poking fun at a bunch of stuff. So you were correct, you did see a Spectacle Rock hint, but it was a troll.
Yeah, game being cute.
Well, just be thankful we only get the cute things instead of if you ever played Fred Super Mario Bros. 3 Randomizer, every time you defeat one of the airships, you get a dad joke.
Oh, goodness. All right. Well, there's a heart container for Janice. He'll take that. He will definitely live longer. There's another key as well. Janice is well on his way to avoiding key issues now, so that's good for him. He's also running out of places to check for this item, so... Oh, it's where the Triforce normally is.
Yep. Manhandler guards the item, it looks like.
Yep. Pole's voice dropping a bomb. Interesting.
We have found the magic sword, and Zarnax picked up a magic shield and already paying dividends, blocking the Lionel beam.
Yeah, and this is a good call here. And is it just me or the enemy's not shuffled? Because these look like the normal.
Yeah, overall enemies do not look to be shuffled at all.
All right, so we know this is the item. He's just got to clear 5 Gibdos with sword swings, which is more than easy.
Watch it be the book.
Oh, if it's the book, that's just a huge waste of time, and then it's a letdown.
It is the bow.
Interesting. Level 3 having the bow. If Ganon's required, Janus does have a leg up here. Because Zarnax has skipped so many items and so many dungeons, he's going to have a really tough time figuring out where he needs to go.
Kryuji, to answer your question about average length of these runs, that is variable depending, because these are random percent flags, and hey, we have found level 9 here. Anywhere between an hour and an hour and a half is a good general idea, but because this is random percent, you can have 30-minute outliers and 2-hour outliers.
Level 9 deciding to relocate 1 square to the right of where it normally is, and level 8's right there as well.
Wow, Zarnax going all kinds of crazy. He finds the Triforce here. He's going to be in level 9 and taking the huge gamble of Ganon not required. Holy crap, there it is!
He has to go back for level 6.
But either way, that's huge right there.
That is. He does have to go back for level 6's Triforce. He does not have it. And unfortunately, the walk up there, his best bet, honestly, is to whistle to normal level 6 and then just walk it. One thing important to note here is that level 9 could be really ladder blocked. I've run into plenty of seeds where, guess what? You go up, it's a ladder block. You go right, it's a ladder block. You go left, it's a ladder block.
Yeah, but right now, Zarnax looking like an absolute genius with all this gambling.
Oh, yeah. Now, the one thing he doesn't know is where in level 6 the Triforce is. And as we saw, it's at the very bottom. So if he takes this staircase here to the right and goes down, you'll find it really fast.
Right, but here's the thing: is you take this staircase, you end up in the head of the dragon there. Do you go down or do you go to the left? I go to the left because you're going to give him more dungeon that way.
Depends where the staircase drops out. If it's anywhere, you said the head of the dragon, I tend to actually go down just to cover that side so I'm not double backing.
No, fair enough. But you see where it is right on the L here, and I agree with Zarnax. This is what I would do. But the good thing we know is that this is the same path that Janus took. Yes. And it eventually does lead to the compass. However, there's a big problem on Zarnax's side. There's a 0 in the bomb column.
Yeah, the bombs are just not good. And we see Janus in level 1 here. He'll definitely for sure find... I imagine he'll definitely find at least one item in here. Which will be the recorder.
Yeah, but one is a small enough dungeon, I think it's 5, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16, like 16 rooms. But the recorder is on the path here, but he's definitely going to find both items in here. He went searching through 3. He's definitely going to search through 1.
Yeah, in his mind right now, he needs a ladder. And that's a very good assumption, honestly. Yeah, it's very rare to not require a ladder.
We have seen at least one seed in this tournament that did not require a ladder, but on the whole, very, very rarely will you get those.
Yeah, it is definitely in the realm of everything has to roll 100% correct. And we see him, he's definitely digging for the second item in here. Not necessarily, well, he had to use the bomb anyways, unfortunately, and he gets a hint for level 2. Which tells him it's at the grave.
And that's good for him because he's already explored most of the grave, so he knows that recorder he just found, that was a good find.
Yes.
And there's the book. Zarnax's gamble paying off yet again.
The book. Unfortunately, that means Boomstick is not in here because we see it in Level 1. Yeah, so this poses an interesting question. Is ladder in 7?
Well, I think by default it has to be, because we've seen ladder blocks for most of the other items.
Yeah. I'm just trying to remember what we have seen already, and it's like, I believe silver should be a 9 at this point.
Well,
no.
No, we know that it can't be in 4, because we know 4 is ladder block.
Yep.
Zarnax just clipping into the room that he was already in from the staircase, so we know that ladder can't be in 4. Based on the exploration that Janice was doing,
it looked like 6 was pretty.
Yeah, he cleared a lot of 6, as Zarnax is doing too. So again, a 7 feels like the bet.
Yeah, if ladder's going to end up being required, that's going to be a lot of backtracking for both players. Because your first thought is like, oh no.
Yeah, and Janet's going ahead and picking up the arrow because he knows he has to fire that arrow to get the red ring, and he's probably going to want that. Even with 0 HP enemies, red ring is always, a good thing to have.
Well, and on top of that, he does have the bow, so it makes sense. So in case he gets Goma stuck somewhere, he can get right out of it.
Yeah. And as you can see, the top section level 6 underneath the V and the E, that is where the item has to be for Zarnax, but he's like, nope. I'm just going to go get my Triforce and hit the Gamble-matic 9000.
Yep. Question, the seed variables for this randomizer are random % seeds. So we have no idea what's been turned on and off until the seed is generated and we play it. And Janice picking up the Triforce in 7, and then Zarnax almost at the same time picking up the Triforce in 6. And both players are just blitzing through this really fast.
Oh, I 100% agree with Janice here. 7, especially in a non-shaped seed, I'm only going back there. Like, if it's one of the first places I find, I will dig around. But for the most part, bye, Felicia.
Yeah, exactly. He does know that level 2 is in the grave somewhere, so I imagine he's not going to spend a whole lot of time here.
He also knows that level 8 is on Death Mountain.
Yeah, so the only thing he's worried about now is where level 9 can be, and he knows he hasn't seen a whole lot of Death Mountain.
Yeah, so Zarnax now, speaking of that, making his way. Ooh, again, that magic shield paying all of the dividends. And here we are, level 9. Let's see if Zarnax's gambling is going to pay off.
And for flags like this, my general train of thought is go up as much as possible, because there's a 50% chance that Zelda's in her room anyways.
Absolutely, but Zarnax isn't going to necessarily go up right now. He is going to go ahead and continue with his pathing. It's going to be dictated by the number of bombs he has, as you can see here. By
keys.
Not spending bombs, not spending keys. So I've done this type of pathing before myself, so this is the exact same type of thing I would be doing in this 9, is letting my bombs and keys dictate the path that I take.
Yeah, and unfortunately, as you saw there too, keys are going to be a huge thing. There's 15 key doors in this dungeon. Zarnax can currently open a third of them. So he does have to pick and choose his keys very carefully. Hoping to find a compass in that room and just does not find it. Janice buying meat, which is a interesting thing. Grumbles has not been sighted yet. He could be in 9 somewhere.
It could be, but from the looks of it, with the bomb upgrade guy being in 5, not being shuffled is also a pretty good option here.
Well, it's a 50% chance he's independent of the bomb shuffle.
True.
So, if they were tied together, you would definitely assume that. But since they're not tied together, it's a reasonable guess to say that he is
ladder blocked in this room.
Oh no! This is the river room that we were just talking about here.
Yeah, and Zarnax here is bomb blocked because he has no more bombs. So it's going to be very interesting. The one thing you are guaranteed to is every dungeon, one of the enemies in the dungeon will drop bombs. It's just a matter of which.
The thing here, though, is it's not the red Wizroads, it's the blue ones.
That is true.
We've seen the blue ones drop. bombs. So Zarnax is now having to play chicken with his keys. And it's he gets another key, but the bombs is a huge deal in level 9.
Yeah, absolutely. And the other good, these staircases are nice, but even if he comes across the silver arrows, it's not going to be a huge thing here because he doesn't have the bow.
Yep. Oh wow, two 100. Janice has got all his money back from buying the meat.
Nothing wrong with that.
Nope. If this shutter doors is not open, that means cannon's required, and Zarnax is going to have a lot of backtracking to do.
Yeah, he's hoping that every shutter door he has, opens up like that one. And that confirms to Janice that the grave spot in the, the recorder spot in the grave, Goma creeps the ladder. Ladder's in 6. The last 2 rooms in 6.
You just want to cry at that point because you've been in there.
Yeah, both of them left 2 rooms in level 6 that they didn't explore. Oh my word.
Okay, and then Zarnax is opting to leave and trying to figure out where the ladder is now. I imagine he's also looking for bombs. While Loud Goat does not have a bomb issue right now because he's been fortunate with his bomb drops.
Loud Goat, you mean Janice?
Or Janice, yeah. Hi, Loud Goat. You're playing now. There is a bomb shop, thankfully, for Zarnax. 2 below. And Janice will go back in and very, very intelligently going for the ladder because it's so big in level 9 because you can get blocked.
Yeah, he's only got 2 rooms left.
Yep. Our audience participation. Congratulations, Loud Goat. You're a randomizer racer now.
You've won the raffle. Your prize is you get to play Crystal Saber in a non-shaped seed.
Oh. And then the second prize winner gets 10 rupees.
you have won second prize in a beauty contest. Collect 10 rupees.
Yep. Oh, Loud Goat said he bought a bomb upgrade. I approve. Interesting to note that means that bomb
5?
That should open up.
Or 7.
Either way, that's interesting. No, I was also looking at the ladder block there. That means he has to go around to get the... Speaking of spinning around, Zarnax did his own little dance there.
Yep, but we do have the ladder confirmation staircase room, I think. Yep, there it is, right there for Janice.
And it was ladder blocked.
It was. That is funny. And Loud Goat, I'm not sure if you're seeing this in the chat, but Crystal Saber is here and said he would set up the room.
No, Putz, Oko on you, not the enemies. There's a difference. This is definitely taking on a new dynamic now. And it's just because Janice did go back for the ladder, and if silvers are in 9 and Ganon's required, Janice is going to have a tremendous advantage now.
Yeah, absolutely, because we know that we know that the magical boomerang is an 8. We got a hint for that. We know that the red ring is an 8. So we know the 2 items is an 8. We know that Raft still has to be one of the items left in 4, 5, or 7. We also know that Goma blocks a heart container, and Goma can't be in level 9. So that leaves 3 spots. We also know the white sword is the white sword. We got to hit that. So we have 3 spots left, 2 of which are in level 9 for the silver arrows. So there is, at this point, a 66% chance that silvers are here in level 9.
Yep. And with a 50% chance of Ganon being required. Oh, there's some bombs for Zarnax should he run out. And the silvers are in 9. So this is a problem now for Zarnax because he does not know where the ladder is because he never saw a hint for it.
He doesn't know where the bow is.
Yep, there was never a hint for that. So if Ganon's forced...
Yeah, the good thing for Zarnax is taking a look at there's the red candle for Janice, taking a look at the dungeons you have to backtrack to. You're going to backtrack to them pretty much in order of 2 things. One is which one's the smallest, and two, especially in this seed, is which one is the easiest to access. And in this case, level 3, which contains the bow, is the easiest one to access because you can whistle to vanilla level 8 to get to it. So that is a huge boon for him.
The only downside is that level 6, if he ends up ladder blocked somewhere in here to get to Zelda, level 6 is not the dungeon you're going to think about. He is in Zelda territory, though, northwest of Skull. So he just may run across her without a problem.
Yeah, the other thing to keep in mind, though, is he might go back to 6 because, as we said, he only missed 2 rooms, so 6 is a pretty quick clear as well.
Yeah, both players only missed 2 rooms in there. They full cleared both sides of it. Zelda will... My goodness. There's a spiral room that you just don't want to deal with here. And goes up, and more whiz robes. Fun times.
Oh, happy fun times. All the whiz robes.
Uh-oh.
I wanted that to be Zelda in that Devil River so bad.
Oh, man, if that was Zelda, that is just... You just cry, and you're like, oh, where do I go? Oh, is this Ganon?
No, because it's
Okay.
regular shapes. You don't have to worry.
Oh, no! How many spots does he have left to check in the northwest of Skull? I haven't seen as many now.
He's got a lot of I believe he's got a lot of the L column left to check.
But the question is, can he get there from this side at all? Uh-oh. We may have a huge problem for Zarnax here. He's going to take a passageway and try to maneuver his way around this potential problem. Oh, that's not the right way.
That's not the right way to maneuver.
No.
He's still got a bunch because he's still got all the L column and all of the second E column to check out those top 4 in each. So he's got some things to check out there over in the northwest part of the Skull.
Yep. And Janice is going the wrong way, unfortunately, for level 8 and 9. But oh, there's the white sword.
So, but did you get that thing I sent you?
No,
Okay.
I blame the postal service. Picks it up, which if Ganon's required and Ganon does have X hits on him, then it's perfectly fine. And this isn't an unreasonable guess to assume that level 8 is over here. Just unfortunately is not. So, and Janice will see this when he gets done clearing this side. I don't know what else Zarnax can do other than start bombing other walls to potentially get him to where he needs to go.
Like that one, for example, putting him in the L column, so he could keep going up from here.
Yep. We'll see if he gets stuck again. There's
It's
no!
ladder blocked. She's ladder blocked.
She is 100% ladder blocked.
But if I recall correctly,
It's
that was
open.
the door, so Ganon's not required. She just ladder blocked.
Okay, so where do you go?
Well, here's the thing: the options, like we said, are
3 and 5 are on the east side.
Right. 3 is the easiest to access dungeon. Technically, 8 is because you're right here, but 3 is the easiest to access dungeon because you can whistle to 8 and go to 3. 6 is the dungeon you've explored the most of. Those conveniently hold the 2 most. And whistling to 5, I don't think that's what Zarnax intended to do.
No.
But yeah, the obvious plays here are levels 1, 3, and 6, because 4 we know is ladder blocked, although I don't think Zarnax knows that, but those are the 3 easiest to access dungeons. 1 and 3 are the smallest, and 6 you've explored a lot of. And Zarnax now realizing, oh, poop.
Yeah.
But looks like he's...
I don't know where he's going now.
No, I think he was going to try and world route this. Like, wait, I don't have the ladder. That's the whole point of this.
Yep. Not realizing that he could whistle to 2 and get the same results, or 8. He's going to go explore probably 3 and 5, and this could give Janice a really, really huge advantage.
Yeah,
just by virtue of Janice very well might find that early Triforce and 8 and just go.
Absolutely, and Janice knows the red ring is one of the 2 items in there. The problem with knowing red ring is, at some point, do you become married to I want a red ring, or do you just up and go?
Not with as many heart containers as he has, and not with not with being able to go into 9. We don't know, Putz, if Zelda's in her room or not, because obviously we couldn't see it. We have not seen either room, though.
Yeah, we don't know what's going on. We don't know how to get there. So the only thing we know is Ganon is not required.
I'm not sure what. I'm maybe trying to build a count here is what Janice is doing with these Armos.
I mean, 0 HP, you have a good contingent of them. But however, this right here, this is the reason for the Great Armos Uprising.
I'll be sure to pass that along to them. Interesting that I think he is trying to force a bomb here. And this is a smart move. I do 100% think this is a correct decision. He's just gonna...
also agree.
Oh! Ooh, that was really close. Oh, that wasn't the right count. Unless it stores it. I forget. Does it store it?
Yeah, it should store.
Okay, so the next... let's see, he takes a hit here. Which... Alright, well, hopefully kill them and just get a bomb anyways. Don't die here.
But they
is
don't
bad.
drop bombs.
I thought the blue Lionels did drop a bomb.
Did they drop bombs in this? I don't know.
I don't remember now. You can use your arrows to kill them, and I'm a big fan of sniping them.
Well, absolutely. They snipe me all the time. Why can't I do it back?
Exactly. Yeah, I don't remember what drops bombs up here. Something up here should drop a bomb.
Yes, but things are shuffled, so we don't know. You know what the sad part is? There's a bomb shop up here. It's bomb blocked.
It's bomb blocked. No, that's not going to push, Janice. Interesting to note I'm wondering if he knows where a bomb shop even is.
He does, because he bought arrows.
Okay, so potentially either farm for bombs. Oh, right there. Perfect. He's just going to... Oh, wow.
Nice. Wow, wow, wow.
Not quite. This is where he'll note that he's whistling to old dungeons, so he's just going to want to whistle to either 1 or 6.
At this point, 6 is the one he wants to whistle to, because he's already got the eastern half of Death Mountain taken care of. So he wants to whistle to 6 because it's going to put him on the western half.
Yeah. It's just a matter of choice. Like, which one do you feel more comfortable running faster through? I believe the screens are, it's what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 to get there, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to get back. So, if you can screen scroll, then it can be just as fast, and you deal with less Lionels.
Yeah, I will say though, as Zarnax gets the bow, not the required item he was hoping to find.
No, and now he's just wondering where is the ladder. I do not blame Janice for this purchase, honestly.
Did he just buy the Shame Heart?
Yes, he did. It's not a Shame Heart when you have Lionels on Death Mountain.
Oh, no, I say the Shame Heart because of the noise it makes when you buy it.
Yeah, it's the same way with the Key of Doom.
Yeah, absolutely. And Janice has now found level 8. And what is...
I know what Zarnax is doing. He's going back to 1.
Me too. Going back to level 1.
Oh boy.
And Janice is going to find the Triforce here, and he's going to...
I just go...
He now has a... Oh, you absolutely do. He now has the advantage here.
Yes.
Zarnax is going to be very disappointed to find the book.
Yeah, and he'll find... Janice will find level 9 here. I'm sure he's not going to miss this bomb. Nope, he does not miss it.
And now the race is on.
Here's the problem. Keys.
He has 1 key. Yep.
Yep. Yeah, Zarnax does know exactly where to go, Fred. He just doesn't know. Uh-oh. You just cry when you see the book.
Yep. Makes you want to cry a little. But now here's the question. Where does Zarnax go? He's not going to go explore 7. He's only explored 3 rooms. He's going to go explore 7.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
He's debating on it. You can
He's like,
see the
no,
look.
yeah,
He's
no.
like,
No.
he has not seen item. I don't even think he went that far in 4, did he?
He didn't, but 4 is ladder block. He can go like 2 more rooms in 4.
But does he know it's ladder block, though?
He does not, but it's 1 room past where he found the Triforce, so he'll find out that one pretty quickly. But 6 has to be on his mind because you get 2 rooms left in 6.
Yep. Ladders in level 6. Well,
he's going to
Janice
try
does-
4.
he is
The
going
beast-
to go in 4. Yep.
Yeah. Janice find out that the beast awaits in the northeast of Skull, which is interesting because he doesn't have
Silver
the
arrows.
silver arrows.
Now he knows that
But
they're
now
in
he
here.
does. So that's awesome. There you get possibly 4 hints in level 9. There's only 3 old men to give you hints. The 4 hint options are where the beast awaits, where the kidnapped awaits, where the silver arrows are, and where, as I somewhat remember, where the compass is. So we got the 3 best hints to find in the seed: the beast, the kidnapped,
Yep.
and the silver.
Yeah, and you will see Zarnax picking up the ladder in here. Once he gets his way back, he has exactly 2 rooms left to find, and no keys, 1 bomb. You have to take passageways, Janice, in this situation. You're
Yeah,
just
absolutely.
unfortunately on the passage hunt now.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, at this point, your routing is pretty much, which way is 9 going to take me, and that could be a good thing because sometimes you just let the level take you, and you end up with good things. Other times, you let the level take you, and you end up chasing your tail in a circle for 20 minutes.
Yep, and keys are... You just hate going into these levels without keys.
Absolutely. So the longer that Janice sits here and gonna blow his last bomb here, pun intended, to do that. So now he is in a pretty rough spot here.
Yeah, he can canana key through a door in there. It's not easy. He's opting just to go find bombs again, I think.
Ooh.
Which is not a bad idea, but
No, but are we confirmed that he is absolutely, 100% out of options to go? I think, if we hadn't, I think he's leaving.
he's just
to,
looking for bombs.
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, and this will be big for Zarnax here picking up the ladder, because he'll just be able to blitz back in and go. And
Because, he knows the exact path.
yep, picking up bombs for Janice, which is good, but he needs to get his way back in there.
At this point, I have 4 bombs. I'm going. I would be going back.
Exactly. Important to note that the drops are all... There's the second bomb. You just whistle to 7 now. Or whistle to 6, rather. Or you can just take the passageway.
Let's say,
you know?
at this point, taking the where's he going? Oh, he's taking
probably
the
picking up the heart refill.
Yeah, the desert heart path. What?
What? Unless he has a key shop marked.
No, it's a bomb shop.
That's probably a mismark on his part. Yeah, the only thing stopping Zarnax is not running into enemies.
And yeah, Zarnax knows exactly where to go. So as long as he doesn't get completely sniped, he's in.
Yeah, I think there was a key shop on the coast here.
Again, this is just my experience. I am not a fan of this call going all around Hyrule because you mismark things. I would just be going game on. You've got 8 bombs. You've got walls to play with. You know the map of 9. You know which walls to bomb that could potentially take things. I very much disagree with this walking around Hyrule to try and find a key. There's going to be keys in 9, so.
Yeah. Not many, but some. Now he's just taking the heart refill. He's going to up A, which is a good call. Going into 8.
Yep. And that magic shield purchase yet again playing dividends for Zarnax, blocking a orange Whisbro beam, which would have ended his life.
Yeah, and you see he has the potion ready just in case he gets somebody tries to get fresh with him.
Yeah, but absolutely, has the potion ready just in case the little knight decides it's going to be a little like that. The Vyres being just a little bit frisky.
Yeah, they're not being too nice to him, and Zarnax will be one room away, and then with an open door, we know that Zelda's going to be right there.
Yep, the only thing is she in her room? Yes, she is, so that was the only path.
Yep, but and Zarnax will finish.
Yep, and Zarnax will finish with an official SRL time of 58 minutes and 40 seconds.
Yep, very, very good race from both of these guys. Having to go back for the ladder was huge, and if Janice had been had a couple more keys, we would have quite possibly seen a different result here.
Yeah, a couple more keys, couple more bombs. Yeah, this race, when we found Zelda as ladder block, that opened up the door for this to be one of those nail biter races. It still has the potential to be pretty close, depending on the path that Janice takes. But all things considered, gamble percent almost coming back to bite Zarnax. And speaking of that, I heard the little Discord beep.
As did I.
Yes, you did.
Hey, Zarnax.
Hello.
Congratulations on that win and that gamble, just that ladder.
That must have made things exciting.
It was very interesting. So I guess I'll go ahead and ask, at what point did you just decide, to heck with it, I'm just going to gamble on everything and see what happens?
I think like my first 3 or 4 dungeons, I'd gone through a total of maybe 10 or 15 rooms. And, and I was just like, there's no reason to clear out these dungeons looking for items if it's possible that I don't need any of them.
Yeah, I agree. It's a very good call. The ladder just proving to be a problem child, so to speak.
So again, the next question, of course, being, when you discovered the compass and, oh crap, Zelda's ladder block, what was the thought going through your head?
My first thought was that I hope Janice doesn't have the ladder. Other than that, I was just kind of trying to... it was kind of interesting, like the way the recorder worked and the way the locations of the dungeons, it seemed like they were all a bit spread out. None of them were really easy to get to. And the ones that were clumped together were the biggest ones. Like, so 3 and 1 were kind of like, I could have done 1 and then gone into 7, which was not an appealing idea.
No.
7 is never an appealing idea.
1 and 7 were right next to each other. 3 and 5 were fairly close, and 4 and 6 were right next to each other. So like, I was kind of trying to figure out what was going to be my best bet, and then I just started going smallest to biggest.
Yeah, and it makes sense. You only had 2 rooms left in level 6 to find. Janice knew the ladder was in 6. There was a hint for it.
What's that?
There was a hint for the ladder in 6 on
wow.
the lake. So Janice actually went back in real early once he found that hint and picked up the ladder.
Wow.
Good enough for Janice, though. He is on the correct path to Zelda.
Nice.
He just ran into a key problem, and a bomb problem, which he actually fixed.
Yeah, I got really lucky that I didn't run into either of those issues for very long. I ran out of bombs once or twice, but then the next room dropped bombs for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got really lucky with the bombs there.
Yeah.
Except on Death Mountain.
Oh no! Janice, no!
Oh, Janice not using his bombs, and I don't understand why.
He has to be gun shy from running out of them. It's the only thing I can think of.
You seen the hint that she's in the northwest?
No.
He got the other 2 hints that Ganon's in the northeast and the Silver's in the southwest.
Oh man, I didn't see either of those.
Yeah, they were in the northeast area, like near start. He's maybe looking to kill Ganon. Because he has not seen the fact that the room is open and he doesn't have a compass.
Right.
See, in a seed like this, I always assume, and this is a really good assumption, I always assume that she's not required until I see that shutter door not open.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it can cost you time.
Yes.
But now Janice is in a...
This is a really fun seed, though.
Yeah, it was mixed overworld. It's a shame every enemy in the world was at 0.
Yeah. Yeah, that definitely made me more nervous.
And there's the hint for Janice, and he's got to be kicking himself. Like, I was just there!
Well, the good news is he can get back there. He knows the way there.
And the other good thing is he doesn't need any more keys to get there.
Exactly. But yeah, 0 HP enemy, I mean, this may have been a different seed if combat had been relevant, but combat was not relevant at all in this seed.
Yes, exactly.
White Sword was on Death Mountain. It was easy to find, so...
One of the rooms right before I guess I died.
Right transition... Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you guys didn't take too many deaths. I think the deaths were just early, and it's just because of the low hearts.
Right.
And we were talking about this earlier. It's like, do you pick up hearts in this, or do you just not worry about it? And my personal opinion is I like my beam sword enough that I will do a seed like this with 3 hearts.
Exactly. Yeah. I wanted to get at least 6 hearts, just in case the white sword was shuffled and maybe it was the ladder or something else I needed.
Yeah, which makes sense. And again, it's not a bad choice, and it's not the wrong decision at all.
Right.
And just knowing that, and I will generally do that as well in these type of seeds, is 6 hearts. But 6 hearts is really as high as I ever want to go.
Exactly. Yeah.
Anything else is just like, now beam sword's like 50,000 hearts away.
Interesting. Janice opting to go down here as opposed to going up, trying to get to the E column of the northwest.
The E column's not in the northwest though.
I know the both of them are, because basically you split the skull into a 4x4 grid. LEVE are in the northwest and southwest. L-9 and blank are in northeast and southeast.
That's right. I remember now.
It's okay.
It looks like Janice does find the right path here.
Not quite yet. This is going to be that spiral staircase, so he's still going to have to go up one more room and bomb to the...
Pretty sure that actually blows up.
Oh, it does blow up. You're right. I forgot, because we went the other path.
Yes. Yeah, Janice does find the other path there. And finds Ganon in his room. GG. This was a really exciting race.
That's what I kind of figured. Like, as soon as I found that ladder was required in 9, I was like, this is probably going to be a lot of fun to watch.
Yes, it was.
I'm assuming we took very different paths.
We might have lost it 1 or 2 or 7 times.
Yeah.
Right.
That was definitely a good race. Yeah, Janice had to leave 9 twice to get bombs, and you had to leave to get the ladder, and just a lot of gambling going on.
Yeah. Which is pretty common for a no HP seed, I think.
It is, because it's very easy for a player to blow through these dungeons. It really becomes all about how fast can you get to the Triforce, rather than, am I going to get blocked? Do I have to go clear this whole dungeon again just to find the item? The combat just is a non-issue.
Yeah. Putz, that's a good question, really. I didn't even... I knew that she was south or north of the... I think I was pretty sure that she was... As soon as I knew that there was a south entrance to her room, I was pretty sure that she was going to be in her own room, but I didn't even consider the possibility of going up the left side of 9 and bombing in from the left.
And again, it's just the nature of the way these flags work. Mm-hmm. It's a reasonable assumption that she's going to be in her room. And it's the same way I reasonably assume that it's going to be non-force canon.
I wouldn't say it's a reasonable assumption. It's a reasonable to assume it's likely. But
50%.
Well, I'm saying like Putz has a really good point. If she's 5 rooms away and I have a chance to maybe get in there from the left, then I would have been the smart move to try and do that. That just didn't even cross my mind.
Yeah, but you saw an open door and you knew you needed a ladder to get to it.
Right.
Oh yeah, it was a double river room and then a Chevy room. So the only way you could have possibly gone was if you could bomb left into a room, and I think you actually bombed that wall already. So, I'm thinking you may have tried it.
Now that it wouldn't have worked.
Yeah, it's all speculation and
Right.
what ifs and whatnots, but like it's just a 50% chance that she's going to be in her room anyways. You never ran across Ganon's room. You never ran across Zelda's room in any of your dungeon hunting. So,
Right.
those are things that are always going through my mind when I play these Swiss flag seeds. It's like I haven't seen this room. I haven't seen this room. I haven't seen this yet. It's reasonable to assume to go up to win.
Yeah.
And I hear Janice joining us.
Yep, that was a interesting seed.
That was very
Yeah,
fun to watch.
GG.
Yeah, it was a good race.
So while you had to leave twice to get bombs, Zarnax had to leave to go get a ladder.
Oh, yeah, I got the hint that it was in 6, and I immediately booked it back there.
I think when I entered 9, I had power bracelet and recorder, and that was it.
That was it.
Yep.
Yeah, I think the only thing I had beyond that was bow and red candle
And recorder.
and record. Well, I had the required stuff.
Yes. So the poor Raph gets left alone again,
Yep.
which is fine. There was a hint for, you didn't need it. But yeah, it was a great race to watch. Both of you did an amazing job with this seed.
Yeah, I'll definitely have to watch it back. Always interesting to watch these with commentary.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I always learn something when every time I rewatch a race with commentary, one of my main primary thoughts is these people are giving me way too much credit. I'm really just clueless and wandering around, and they think I actually have a strategy. And then I learned strategies that I could have been using.
Yeah,
Yep.
I think a lot of it, and this is really nice to hear different thoughts. It's always good to get other people's perspectives, especially other runners' perspectives on what they would do and not do in situations.
Yes, absolutely.
And it's wonderful to go back. I went back and listened to my Swordless Randomizer commentary that DW and Jake Hoper did for me, and I got a kick out of it. But I think it's always good to, and it's always insightful to listen to what I would do in the situation. I always ask myself this while you guys are racing around and looking at stuff. Would I dig for an item here? Would I look for an item in here? When you all find the Triforce in 7, would I go back in? No. You all did the right thing. Leave.
Yeah, nobody willingly goes back into 7 unless they have to.
Yeah.
I think leaving level 1 without looking for the second item was a bit of an error.
Turns
Just
out it was the
because-
right call.
It turns out it was the right call, and you ended up going back in there anyways. But like that could have been just a time save there. Like, okay,
Yeah.
hey, guess what? I know it's a book. I can just leave it behind. I've been there once. I don't have to go back again.
I thought about looking for the other item. The biggest reason I left was basically I had kind of like one was basically divided into 2 branches, and I'd
Yep.
cleared out to the end of the one where I was in, and it would have been like all brand new rooms. It would, I mean, the same
Yeah.
reasoning that I left most of the other dungeons alone.
That level 6 though was really taunting because
Oh.
the one way to get into the ladder room was blocked by a ladder.
Yep.
So you did have to go around.
Yeah, that was evil.
I was just like, oh, that's mean game, but It could have been worse. It could have been whistle blocked or arrow blocked or X number of factors blocked. So just remember, it could always be worse.
Did you have to say that? There's still 2 more rounds in the tournament.
Oh, I'll totally say, watch next time. Level 9 will be meat blocked.
It is
needing a recorder to get the raft, to get the power bracelet, to get the ladder.
We've already had a seed like that.
I know.
Oh, we've seen these. They're good fun.
Oh yeah, they're the old woman syndrome seeds is what I call them.
When everybody has +4 HP.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Good times. Rasta, another thing I would recommend if you're trying to get used to like the logic of the dungeons and the flags and the cave shuffle and all of that, is to set all the enemy HP to 0. If once you're comfortable with the logic, then obviously you want to work on combat as well. And combat's going to be very different if you've got HP off versus HP shuffle or normal HP.
Yes, but don't rely on HP being 0. You do want the biggest, and this I say this to everybody, and it's because it's true, and it's what Darkwing preaches, is in order to get better at this game, your combat needs to be at a decent point.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, absolutely.
Combat is a huge factor in this game. If combat was a thing that these 2 players had to deal with, you would have seen a very different race.
Oh, absolutely. Like, especially level 6.
No.
6 blue whiz robes to get anywhere in that dungeon with the staircase?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that kind of reminds me of that 6 blue whiz robe required Triforce Room in 5 we had about a month ago, Janice.
Oh, God. That
you know the one I'm talking about.
Oh, yes. Wood sword, what was it, max HP blue whiz robes?
Max HP blue whiz robes, wood sword only, because the magic sword was 14 hearts, and the white sword was in the one room in level 9 that was behind Zelda's room.
Oh, no.
Yep.
Yeah, I definitely would have.
And it was a shutter door, 1 entrance whiz robe room, so you couldn't reset the room.
Potions are your best friend.
Yeah, if the blue whiz robes had health, I would have gone to 8 for the red ring as soon as I knew it was there.
Yeah.
And it just shows that this game has so many variables that, you know, combat almost always plays a part in this, and your best bet is to get decent at combat, then understand logics. Both learning both at the same time is a huge plus for picking this game up.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah, that was a nasty seed.
Yeah. So, anything else left to say about either of our runners here? I'm gonna take silence means no.
Again, great job racing, both of you. You all did an amazing job with this seed. It was nice to see 2 different strategies, 2 very different strategies, and yet the same strategy. So you all did a really good job with this.
A fun race. I was definitely really nervous the second half of it.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, I can definitely imagine why.
I was getting there when I started finding dungeons left and right and finding Triforces and no items. I'm like, I don't know what's required here.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, this was a really item-light seed to win. I think you needed, 2 or 3 items?
Recorder and ladder were the only 2 required items.
Yep.
And like bombs, obviously.
Required for 1 room.
Yeah.
Yep. Other than that, no candle requirement, which was interesting.
Yeah, I was about to say, I don't think there was even a candle requirement. Yeah. This has to be like one of the fewest amounts of items.
Wow. There were no dungeons under bushes.
Nope.
Yeah.
There were not.
That's pretty incredible.
And there's only like 4 you had to bomb into, I think. 5, 1,
level
8,
5.
and 9.
Yep.
This is a really interesting seed.
Yeah. Like I said, it was a really good seed to watch. It was fun. to watch this seed play out the way it did. It was perfect, really. It just goes to show the randomness of the nature of this game.
Oh, definitely.
Right.
So again, thank you all so much for racing. Thank you for putting on such a great show, and thank you TGE for hopping in at the last second with me because, whew.
Not a problem. This was definitely a seed this is a 2-person seed by far.
Yes, with as
I can
fast as it
imagine.
was going, as fast with both players with 0 HP goes, you are liable to miss things if you're not watching.
Absolutely. So just want to remind everybody that we do have the last 2 matches in the second round of the Swiss here scheduled. Tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern over on twitch.tv/Random Massacre. We'll be having Matrick versus Zarby89. And then the end of the round 2 of Swiss will be on Thursday, April 20th at 7 p.m. A restream to be determined. That's going to be Raiko Rider against Epic Yoshi 64. So please, you have posted the link to the challenge website and the schedule right there in chat. So keep an eye on that schedule if you want to keep watching some of these races. And speaking of randomizer races, I would be remiss if I didn't give a huge shout out to Fiesel and all of the work that he and Speed Gaming do for not just the Zelda 1 randomizer tournament, but they've also been hosting the link to the past randomizer tournament. And that's been a big thing. So make sure you follow both Speed Gaming and Speed Gaming 2 to catch all of that. Speaking of that, I think we're going to be sending people over to Speed Gaming's main channel because there's a Mega Man 3 race started right now.
Yep, I was about ready to mention that Mega Man 3 tournament race is going on over there. So Fiesel has his hands full dealing with a lot of tournaments going on. It seems like this is the season for the tournaments. We are in tournament season here, and there's a lot of good stuff to watch.
Absolutely, I just want everybody to think about Fiesel, who's sitting there in that dark room in the corner with 17 monitors, 2 cups of water, and I think 4 empty Chinese takeout cartons,
and quite possibly Final Fantasy 1 trying to route that while he's doing all this.
Oh, of course, you know that's happening.
So huge thank you to Fiesel for helping us put on this show. It's a really huge load off of our minds as well.
Also, so with that,
thanks for the commentary, the restreams.
Not a problem. Thank you guys so much for putting on a very, very awesome race. So with that, make sure if you haven't done so already, follow both of our runners, Zarnax42 and Janice Zeal 6. Make sure you smash the follow button on Speed Gaming. I'm gonna be a bit of a sellout here. I'm gonna convince you to buy in to follow both Dave and myself. You can see all of our Twitches right there in the chat. So, on behalf of everybody here, I want to thank everybody. And Dave, you have anything you want to say?
Thank you so much for watching, everyone. Thank you for asking all these questions in chat. There's no bad question at all. And if you guys have any other questions, feel free to PM any one of us. We'll be happy to answer any questions about this game.
Absolutely. So on behalf of both of our runners, our tech guy behind the scenes, and of course my commentary partner, Panzer Dave, I am the Greenleaf Effect, reminding everybody that no matter what it is you are currently doing, it's always correct to blame me. Good night.
Good night.